Chapter 542. Although Xiaohan's dimension had been plagued by demons since ancient times, the human fiendish chivalrous cultivators were still considered behemoths. Therefore, most of the territory was still prosperous, with peace and prosperity everywhere. Only a very small number of regions would have demons roaming about, tormenting the common people. However, there were very few cases of demons massacring cities and countries. Recently, the entire plain had sunk into a state of panic. This panic was not only limited to the southern region's Beacon Fire Empire. It also included the other countries of the southern region, the eastern region, the western region, the northern region, and even the Great Desolate region. None of them were spared. Plague. It was a terrible plague. Red bean plague, red spot plague, corpse poison plague, rotting plague, green lotus plague. Hundreds of terrible plagues swept through the entire plain. These plagues were extremely ferocious. Anyone who was infected would die within a few days. Moreover, their deaths were so tragic that it was unbearable to look at them. Countless elites and experts from the major sects of the various regions and countries traveled among the commoners in the mortal world, trying their best to contain these terrible plagues. But it was to no avail. All the outstanding alchemists in this plain acted upon hearing the news and treated the plague carriers on the streets, but there was no good solution. Moreover, as the plague progressed, not only did the commoners who did not know martial arts suffer, even the martial artists who cultivated in the martial way, and even some of the sect's true Qi realm disciples, were infected by the plague. In the end, their souls were crushed and they died a violent death. The huge plain was almost in a state of destruction. Almost all the demons in the demon hero domain who ruled over the human race in this plain. They all came out in full force. Southern region. Beacon Fire Empire. Imperial City. The luxurious Imperial City. At this moment, they had already fallen into a tragic situation. On the flat road, there were civilians who were either sitting or lying down. Their bodies were covered with red bean scars. The shops along the street were all closed. From time to time, there would be heart-wrenching screams coming from the courtyards of some wealthy families. Ah. Itchy and painful. I'm dying of itch. Bitter. I've been doing good all my life, why did I end up like this? Ah. My son, you, hang in there. Mother. Why are there red beans growing on my arm? It's so itchy. The streets and alleys were filled with shrill cries, sounds of tearing, scratching, biting, crying and mourning. There was a wave of stench, the stench of feces, the stench of corpses and the stench of decay. It filled every corner of the Imperial City. There were also countless disgusting flies. Giant mosquitoes and even black mice crawled around without any fear. Hell on earth. On a long street, hundreds of people were lying on the ground, covered in blood. Their faces and bodies were covered in red pimples. They were frantically tearing at their skin and rubbing against the ground. In the end, some of them even went completely crazy and started to attack the people around them. Da-da-da-da, the sound of hooves could be heard. A group of cavalrymen with big horses and bright armor appeared on the street. The leading general's body was filled with surging true energy. At this moment, his eyebrows were furrowed, and a ruthless aura could be seen in the depths of his eyes. General Ma, don't tell me, do we have to do this? A soldier rode his horse to the side of the general. His face was full of sympathy. There's no other way, it's completely chaotic. This red bean plague is going to destroy the foundation of our Beacon Fire Empire. We can't delay any longer. These people in front of us have been infected with the plague for a few days and are beyond cure. They can spread the plague at any time and pollute the entire Imperial City. Suddenly, the general's eyes were filled with killing intent. Obey the order of your majesty. Immediately execute the people who carry the plague. Execute them immediately. Pooh. 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 Heads flew up one by one, and the blood from the neck soared to the sky. Beacon Fire Empire, Imperial Palace. The current emperor of Beacon Fire Empire was standing in an elegant room with a worried expression. A few eunuchs were serving him at the side, trembling with fear. On a soft couch with embroidered curtains, laid a haggard and sickly beauty. She was beautiful, but her pale face was covered with red sores, a ghastly sight. Your Majesty. I beg your Majesty to remember that I've been obedient all these years and tried my best to serve your Majesty. Your Majesty, you must save me. The pretty woman said with tears streaming down her face. Imperial concubine Xiang, don't worry. We will definitely cure you. The emperor said. The elders of Medicine King Valley have already arrived. Don't worry, Imperial concubine Xiang, you will definitely be fine. In front of the bed of Imperial concubine Xiang, a white-robed old man was taking Imperial concubine Xiang's pulse. His eyebrows were deeply knitted and his face was as heavy as water. Your Majesty. Imperial concubine Xiang seems to be infected with the red bean plague. The Valley Master is currently studying the method to cure this plague. Suddenly. Who? On the broad and smooth forehead of the white-robed old man, a red bean the size of a red bean suddenly sprang out. The white-robed old man subconsciously scratched his forehead with his hand. Pucci, he was completely unaware that he had used too much force. In an instant, he scratched his forehead until it was dripping with blood and his skin was torn open. Elder. Imperial concubine Xiang stared at the white-robed old man in horror. No matter, this old man just felt a little itchy. The white-robed old man said with a smile. At this moment, his smile was already extremely strange. Suddenly, from the white-robed old man's forehead and face, countless red beans sprang out, densely packed. Imperial concubine Xiang let out a scream and then fainted. Beacon Fire Empire Imperial City. The massacre gradually began. The Imperial Guards of Beacon Fire Empire were mobilized, their iron hooves trampling, their swords swinging, madly slaughtering the commoners infected with the red bean plague. In an instant, the strong smell of blood covered the sky and the earth, and human heads, one by one, flew into the sky. The entire Imperial City resounded with the sound of crying to the heavens and the earth. At this moment, boom! A strong wave of chi. It descended out of thin air. Bang, 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 bang. Cavalrymen were slaughtering civilians. He was sent flying. A group of men and women who were covered in jewels and jewels. The one in the lead descended from the sky, his entire body flowing with a misty aura. It was the sect master of the Pure Rain sect, Wuyu. Fong Ling of the Pure Maiden sect is here. How dare you kill innocent people? Die. Fong Ling was dressed in white. His sword energy was sharp and his body moved. The invisible sword chi had already killed some of the cavalrymen who were fighting with the most vigor. Wu Wang's spiritual energy swept out and saw that the entire imperial city was in a state of desolation. Sorrow flashed in his eyes as he shook his head slightly. Sect Master, this is truly a tragedy. Dongfang Qin said in a low voice while feeling helpless and painful. Could it be that there are some demons causing trouble? I don't sense the aura of the demon clan. Wu Yu shook his head. However, among these plagues there are many people. There were traces of demonic aura. This disaster is most likely related to the demon race. After a short pause, Lord Wu ordered. All true disciples of the Pure Rain sect, heed my command. He comforted the commoners in the imperial city. Stop the killing. Yes? Dozens of true disciples of the Pure Rain sect obeyed the command. Then Lord Wu said to Xiao Mingqiu who was beside him. Mingqiu, bring a few commoners who are infected with the red bean plague back. What? Let the master treat them. Western region. Feng Luo country. Demon. Demon? At this moment, above the imperial city of Feng Luo country, a giant red-scaled python that was 10,000 feet long appeared. The demonic aura was soaring and covered the sky. In the next moment, Pucci. The giant serpent opened its bloody mouth and sucked in all the human beings in the imperial city. Gaga gaga, tastes good. The humans in this plane taste a little more tender than the ones in my plane. Gaga gaga. The red-scaled giant python suddenly transformed into a red-haired demonic young man in red clothes. He descended and kept licking the corner of his mouth. There was an expression of wanting to continue. Eastern region. One of the strongest sects in the Eastern region. Raging Sword Divine Saber sect. At this moment, led by the sect master of Raging Sword Divine Saber sect, thousands of true Chi realm disciples were floating in the air. All kinds of true Chi rays shot out and dyed the entire sky with different colors. It was a spectacular sight. The sect master of Raging Sword Divine Saber sect was a middle-aged man with a thin face. He had a hairpin on his head and looked like an immortal. He carried a treasure sword and a battle saber on his back. Behind him, a huge true Chi vortex appeared. There were endless true Chi runes brewing inside. These true Chi runes were constantly moving and forming a formation. Inside the formation, there were golden spears and armored horses floating up and down. Countless sword and saber origin giant spirits exploded in the formation. How dare you, demon! How dare you harm the commoners in the territory of my Raging Sword Divine Saber sect! The sect master of Raging Sword Divine Saber sect roared angrily, I am an ancient giant on the demon warrior ranking. How dare you! Trash! The demon warriors of this plane are too weak. Surprisingly, the young demon man opposite him was full of arrogance. He looked around and his aura seemed to be able to devour the void and destroy everything. He made a grabbing motion with his right hand, and a dense river of demonic chi gushed out. With a single tremble, the Fury Sword Godly Saber sect, led by the patriarch of the ancient generation, and the thousands of true Chi realm disciples, were all crushed into black powder, scattering in all directions. Not even their bones remained. Demon Warrior Pagoda. The secret room at the top of the pagoda. The 12 elders surrounded the pagoda master. Each and every one of the elders looked like they were on the verge of collapsing. Pagoda master. The world is in chaos. In a few days our plane will be in chaos. All kinds of plagues and poisons will run amok in the world. People will suffer and the people will have no way to live. Moreover, there are many mysterious and powerful demon clans that have used unknown methods to descend into our plane and kill our chivalrous heroes. Now, even a few of our chivalrous heroes have fallen. Pagoda Master, at this time, you should take action. I should make my move? Ah. The Pagoda Master seemed to have vented his anger. He roared and laughed. He seemed very happy and had a sense of contentment. What does the chaos of the plane have to do with me? The strongest person in this plane is Xiao Han, and he has taken my place. Alright, let's not talk about it anymore. I'm going to leave this plane and go to the neighboring plane. Ha ha. The life and death of this plane have nothing to do with me. Get lost. All of you get lost. The Pagoda Master's body moved. His true chi shook and all the elders surrounding him were sent flying. Then he laughed and left. What should we do? Even the Pagoda Master has run away, disregarding the safety of the plane. What should we do? These elders were completely panicked and lost their minds. Now that things have come to this, perhaps only one person can save this plane. Xiao Han. The 12 elders shouted in unison. Xiao Han is still in seclusion. However, at this moment of life and death, let's go immediately and ask Xiao Han to come out. Go. Immediately go to where Xiao Han is in seclusion and tell him about the chaos of the plane. Ask Xiao Han to come out. The plane is in danger. I hope Xiao Han can come out of seclusion and turn the tide. To be continued. Chapter 543. The 12 elders had already left the secret room at the top of the tower and rushed to Xiao Han's spirit room. They left the Pagoda Master alone in the secret room. Humph. The Pagoda Master snorted and rushed to the window. The Pagoda Master looked into the distance. Outside the window, the great rivers and mountains of this plain were covered with a layer of dead gray. In the air, one could vaguely see a thick demonic aura spreading. Endless demonic aura condensed into a group of hideous and terrifying demonic beast shadows, tearing, disappearing, and roaring. The entire plain was shrouded in a gloomy atmosphere. It was showing signs of a precarious and even on the verge of extinction. In just a few days, the plain that was full of vitality has become like this. Really? But it doesn't matter, I'm leaving now. Ah. That's right, Xiao Han has risen to power and replaced me as the leader of this plain. He has become the unparalleled hero in the eyes of millions and millions of people. He has even become the hope of the entire plain. This has caused me to lose all my face and reputation. But, I can't believe such an irreversible disaster has happened to this plane. How delightful. In this case, I can leave without hesitation and let Xiao Han bear all the blame. This is the greatest relief for me. What does the death of those civilians have to do with me? If they want to blame someone, blame their hero, Xiao Han. Without further ado, I'm leaving now. The Pagoda Master sneered, then made a prompt decision and rushed out. In the Yaoxia Pagoda, there were all kinds of treasures, secret manuals, and supreme-grade true chi spirit stones. Pagoda Master you're. The evil heroes who were in charge of guarding the treasures looked at the Pagoda Master in a daze. At this moment, the Pagoda Master actually took all the treasures and put them all into his storage ring. Pagoda Master, are you going to take away the treasures that the Yaoxia Pagoda has collected for countless years? A evil hero with a serious face blocked the Pagoda Master. Get out of my way. The Pagoda Master grinned viciously. True energy surged out of his body, immediately blasting the devil hero who was blocking his way into pieces. Shio, the Tower Master took the secret treasure and fled. He immediately teleported away from the Yaoxia Tower. The Tower Master has run away. The Tower Master has escaped. It was chaos in the Hero Pagoda. Demon Capital. The Woodfern Emperor and the other demon emperors stood in a corner of the palace like servants. At the core area, They were hundreds of extremely powerful demonic emperors from other planes that could turn the world upside down. Moreover, in the entire demon metropolis, there were now mutated demon emperors and ultimate mutated demon emperors. There were millions of them. They had formed a terrifying demon race army. Millions of mutated demon emperors, ultimate mutated demon emperors. What did that mean? In Xiao Han's dimension, the number of ultimate mutation demon emperors in the demon metropolis was only over 1,000. In other words, there were over 1,000 ultimate mutated demon emperors and over 10,000 mutated demon emperors. Led by the 10 great demon emperors, they had fought against the human race heroes of this plane for countless years. However, the number of ultimate mutated demon emperors in the demon capital had increased by hundreds of times. Demonic chi soared into the sky. They breathed clouds and breathed mist. They could topple mountains and overturn seas. They could sweep through everything. This demon army is enough to flatten any ordinary dimension. The Woodfern Emperor said. They were all terrified. Even with his cultivation realm, he would not be able to withstand the attack of such an army. He would be engulfed in an instant without any ability to fight back. Then, let's surround the human Wuxia Tower of this plane. A powerful demon emperor who was as powerful as an ancient giant spirit let out a rumbling voice that affected a small area of the weather. The sky was covered in snow. It's very boring in this tiny plane. We can't find the silver-masked demon emperor in a short time, and we're all hungry. Then, let's kill all the human heroes in this plane first. Ah. He wanted to kill every single human hero in this plane. Exterminate the Wuxia Tower. Surround the Wuxia Tower. Slaughter them all. Kill them all. Roar. Fight. Fight. Millions of mutated demon emperors and ultimate mutated demon emperors, as well as countless ordinary demon emperors, demon generals and demon soldiers, let out ferocious roars. Emperor Woodfern, a young man with an emotionless demonic aura exuded from his body. Yes, yes. The Woodfern monarch bowed like a lowly servant as he stepped forward. Tell the humans of this plane that the demon army will attack the Wuxia Tower in 3 days. Tell the humans of this plane in advance so that they can gather at the Wuxia Tower from all directions. Then we can wipe them all out in one fell swoop. We can also pressure them in advance and cause them to crumble. The emotionless young man grinned. We love to see the humans crumble. That kind of panic and despair is something we demons enjoy very much. Yes, yes. I will immediately inform the humans of this plane of the final battle through various means, the Woodfern Emperor replied. 3 days from now. The final battle. No, it's not a final battle. In 3 days we will slaughter to our heart's content. Destroy the Wuxia Tower of this plane, and there will be countless delicious brains waiting for us to enjoy. Ah. The entire demon capital was shrouded in layers of evil and demonic aura. Mountain range sect on a secluded mountain peak. Some temporary thatched huts had been set up. A group of mortals infected with all sorts of plagues were being treated by Yen Lang. Yen Lang used the golden needles and all kinds of pills to relieve the pain of these people, which actually made them improve bit by bit. Grandmaster, you truly have a divine skill. Wu exclaimed. Yen Lang nodded slightly, then looked in the direction of the demon capital with a thoughtful expression. Grandmaster, can you refine a divine medicine that can completely cure the plague? Wu asked. Sect Master Wu. Yen Lang withdrew his thoughts and frowned when he heard Lord Wu's question. You've brought back a total of 35 mortals infected with different plagues. I can cure them all. I can also refine an antidote, but... Wu frowned. This plague was definitely spread by a powerful demon race. Yen Lang said with great certainty. I have a special ability to sense demonic chi. Thus, your humble servant is absolutely certain that all plagues in our plane have been infected by the plague. They were all spread by the same demon in an extremely short period of time. It can't be, right? Xiao Mingqiu exclaimed. I'm afraid that even the most powerful monster emperor in our realm doesn't have the ability to spread the plague virus across the entire realm in a short period of time. If it had that kind of heaven-defying ability, it would have done so long ago. It couldn't have waited until now. No, it wasn't Great Emperor Woodfern. Yen Lang shook his head with certainty. I've been in the demon folk for quite some time now, and I've learned a thing or two about the ruler, Grand Emperor Woodfern. It was extremely familiar. Emperor Woodfern's demonic energy had never reached such a terrifying level. If my speculations are correct, the demon spreading this plague is at least 10 times stronger than the Woodfern Emperor. What? Crow ***. Xiao Mingqiu, Dongfang Qin, and Fang Ling all let out soul-stirring roars. A demon 10 times stronger than the strongest demon race in our plane? Crow exclaimed in shock. Could it be? Yen Lang sucked in a breath of cold air. It shouldn't be a demon race native to our plane, but a demon race from another plane. Right at this moment, Sect Master. An auspicious cloud flew over from the horizon. A young man at the True Chi realm jumped down from it. Sect Master, several hours ago, thousands of human sects and at least hundreds of empires were destroyed in the 4 regions of the East, West, North and South as well as the Great Wilderness. They were annihilated by the demon race. According to reliable sources, a red-haired, red-clothed demon race wiped out 18 sects in the eastern region in just 2 hours. He killed 3 ancient powerhouses and 11 ancient powerhouses. The young man at the True Chi realm reported with a face full of shock. It must be a demon race from another plane. How could it be so powerful? Great Emperor Woodfern can't possibly have such tyrannical combat strength. Yen Lang cried out in shock. That should be the case. Crow nodded slightly and gave the order. Pass down my order. The disciples of the Cloud Sect are to immediately announce to the world that there is a demon race invasion from another plane. It seems that the demon race is about to start a war. All the plagues and massacres are just a premonition. The real show is yet to come. Spread the news and tell the human warriors and demons to prepare for a battle to the death. Sect Master, you can inform the Tower Master and release the coordinates of our plane, so that the human experts from other planes can come to our rescue. Dongfang Qin said hurriedly. I'm afraid it's too late. Fang Ling said coldly. At this moment, Sect Master. Another ray of light flew over from the horizon. Sect Master, there's news from the demon capital. The demon race has invited us to a battle. The demon race has officially announced that they will fight us to the death at the Demon Hero Tower in 3 days. If the cultivators and demons of our plane don't dare to fight, the demon race will directly destroy every empire and sect in the mortal world and kill all the people of our plane. In just a few hours, the news of the demon race's challenge had spread to every corner of this plane. East, South, West, and North regions. The Great Wilderness. Countless human cultivators and demons felt the evil fighting spirit of the demon race. First of all, the demons scattered in the 4 regions of the human race and the Great Wilderness led their disciples to the demon hero domain at the fastest speed without hesitation. At the same time, the cultivators of many sects, even if they were not demons as long as they had cultivated martial arts, they all rushed to the demon hero domain. At this moment, all the living beings of the human race on this plane felt as if they were united against a common enemy. Moreover, according to the large-scale plague that broke out a few days ago and the destruction of some empires and sects, now everyone in the world knew that a great demon from another plane had arrived. Now the situation was simply precarious for this plane. Demon Hero Domain. Demon Hero Tower. Outside the Mind House where Xiao Han was in seclusion. Master Xiao Han. Can you hear us? Please come out. Now, the demon race from another plane has arrived in our plane and launched a war against the entire human race. The entire plane is in deep trouble. The plane is in a precarious situation. 3 days later, the Demon Clan army will invade the Yaoxia domain. As long as they break through this line of defense, the people will have no way to survive. The 12 elders outside the Mind House wailed and beat their chests and stamped their feet, sobbing uncontrollably. At the same time, the demon capital. Oh. The human race wants to escape from this plane. Ah. A powerful demon emperor scanned with his demonic senses and found the tower master who was trying to escape. Come here. Boom. The demon emperor grabbed with his giant hand, directly freezing the space, reversing the universe and directly grabbed the tower master who had already flown to the 9th heaven. Chapter 544. Xiao Han's plane was indeed in a precarious situation. Life and death would be decided in a split second. 3 days from now, the Yao race would fight the humans in the fairy tale domain. It would be a battle of the ages. Similar battles had taken place in other planes before. The Yao race and the humans would fight to the death, and the loser would be exterminated. It was a battle of wills and cruelty. It was a battle between 2 races. By now, many of the humans on this plane had learned that it wasn't the native Yao race led by Emperor Woodfern, but the mysterious and powerful Yao race from another plane. Before the battle, the 4 realms and the Great Wilderness had been ravaged by the plague. Who knew how many civilians had died? Some sects and empires had even been destroyed. That made the humans realize just how powerful the Yao race was before the battle even began. A shadow quietly shrouded the hearts of everyone who participated in the battle. The Purity Mountain Range. The Purity Sect. Shio, 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 rays of true energy circled above the Purity Mountain Range. These streams of vital energy were the direct disciples of the Pure Cloud Sect, flying on their swords or riding on the mist to circle around them. Hundreds of thousands of disciples in the fleshly body realm were waiting in the outer mountains. Some were bare-chested, while others were fully clothed. Their eyes burned with the desire to fight. Mingchu, take a few true disciples with you to protect Grandmaster Yan Lang, Shirong Yenshue, and Princess Mo Hen. Wu Yu instructed Xiao Mingchu as he walked out of the Purity Hall. No, sect head, Xiao Mingchu hurriedly said, I want to fight as well. Have junior brother Fang Ling and junior brother Dong Fang stay behind to protect the families of the disciples. Mingchu, with your cultivation and battle prowess, you're the best choice. You're the best choice to protect the families of the Purity Sect. Wu Yu smiled faintly, then turned his gaze to the distant Yao capital. This battle is extremely dangerous. I don't know if we'll survive it. Mingchu, whether you fight or not won't affect the overall situation. Just stay here and protect your families. This? Xiao Mingchu trembled with excitement. Sect head, yes, it's decided. Wu Yu nodded heavily. At this moment, Fang Ling turned into a stream of sword energy and charged into the sky above the Six Peaks mountain range. All members of the Pure Rain Sect, heed my command. Now, all the true energy realm disciples and physical body realm disciples of the sect entered the Devil Hero domain. The great battle between the human race and the demon race is imminent. For our homeland, for our loved ones, we can only fight. I have no regrets even if I die. Are you afraid? Fight, 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 fight. The crowd was in high spirits. A blood-boiling roar reverberated throughout the entire Nine Peaks mountain range. It lasted for a long time. I wonder if junior brother Xiao Han will be able to make it in time for this battle. Fang Ling's gaze also looked towards the direction of the Demon Hero region as he spoke in a soft voice that could not be heard. Depart. Dong Fangqin's vital qi transformed into a giant black phoenix, carrying countless disciples of the mortal body realm and flying towards the Yaoxia region. He flew in the direction of the Devil Hero region. At the same time, in the eastern, southern, western and northern regions, as well as in the depths of the Great Desolate, a large number of human sects, empires and countless cultivators were present. They all left their nests and flocked to the Yaoxia region. On the way to the Yaoxia region, martial artists were as dense as flying locusts in the sky. Some martial artists who were familiar with each other would smile after meeting each other. They would all smile and encourage each other in their eyes. Some of the martial artists who originally had grudges or even enmity with each other would also smile and forget about their grudges after this encounter. That's right, personal grudges were so insignificant in the face of the overall situation of the survival of the plane. In a very short period of time, hundreds of millions of martial artists gathered in the Yaoxia region. Moreover, the number of martial artists was increasing by the minute. Almost all the ancient giants of the Yaoxia ranking had returned to their positions and were all floating around the Yaoxia Tower. They all let out an inspiring roar. The Yaoxia Tower will not fall. We will defend this plane with our lives. The demon race will be destroyed by us. The Yaoxia Tower. Some senior Yaoxia who were in charge of the various floors of the Yaoxia Tower also looked out of the window. All the martial artists in the world are gathered in the Yaoxia region. Although our plane is very weak, it is cohesive. At the moment of crisis, no one flinched. Good, I don't believe that billions of human martial artists can't fight against the demon race in 3 days. Yes, seeing so many martial artists gathered in the Yaoxia region, I have some confidence in the final battle in 3 days. If it was a situation where the hearts of the people were divided, then there was no need to fight. They might as well just slit their own throats. But now we may have the power to fight. Ah, the Pagoda Master. At this moment the Pagoda Master abandoned us and fled to another plane. Now it seems that the Pagoda Master is no match for an ordinary martial artist in the physical body realm. Don't mention the Pagoda Master anymore. Bah, bastard. He's worse than a pig and a dog. In the face of danger he abandoned the people who used to believe in him. Disgusting. In the Pure Cloud Sect's army. With Wu as the leader, the disciples of the Pure Cloud Sect flew toward the Yaoxia region. At this moment, Brother Wu Wu looked sideways. He saw his old friend, the Heavenly Devil Old Man, leading a group of disciples of the Heavenly Devil Palace, rushing over from afar. The two groups of people converged. Wu looked around and saw Mo Qingtong, who had fought alongside Xiao Han in the Wuxia trial, standing behind the heavenly devil old man. At this moment, Mo Qingtong's temperament became colder and colder. True qi flickered all over her body, and talisman seeped out of her pores to form a formation. Oh, Qingtong, I haven't seen you for a few years. You've made great progress and reached the true qi level 8 talisman formation realm. Wu was slightly surprised. Greetings, Sect Master Wu. Mo Qingtong bowed politely. Qingtong's cultivation is really nothing. Xiao Han is really heaven-defying. He has refined his natal talisman tens of thousands of times and is comparable to an immortal. Well, Sect Master Wu, has Xiao Han come out of seclusion? Qingtong hasn't seen Xiao Han for several years since we parted that day. I miss him a lot. Her voice was so soft that it was almost inaudible. We've arrived at the Yaoxia region. Then we'll know about Xiao Han's situation. Wu smiled slightly. Boom! Flames rose in the distance and a group of people came over on the fire clouds. It was the Blazing Flame sect, one of the top 5 sects in the Beacon Fire Empire. It was the sect master Yan Qimei. Wu! Yan Qimei roared. Yan Qimei. Wu smiled. The two of them had been rivals since they were young. However, as they looked at each other, they began to laugh uproariously. It was as if all of the grudges and grievances between them had vanished into thin air with that one laugh. Ha ha. Oh. After defeating the demon clan today, I want to drink with you for 7 days and 7 nights. Ah. After being enemies for so many years, I suddenly find you more pleasing to the eye. Ah. It makes sense. It's better to be friends than enemies. Yan Qimei said straightforwardly. 7 days and 7 nights is not enough. We need to drink for at least 10 days and 10 nights. Ah. However, the premise is that we are still alive. Wu laughed. The two sect masters. They finally met again and shook hands. Wu, I still admire you. You actually trained such a heaven-defying genius like Xiao Han. Yan Qimei sighed sincerely. I think Xiao Han will be the winner of the battle in 3 days. The situation is not optimistic. Wu shook his head slightly. The demon clan is strong this time. They came prepared and gathered countless great demons from other planes. Although Xiao Han is fierce and dominating the world, he will not be able to do anything alone. It doesn't matter. At least we have fought. Perhaps, there were many planes that had similar great battles like this. Some battles were won by the demon clan. Some battles were won by the human clan. But now it seems that these are not that important. The important thing is, we have the courage to fight. Even if we die, we will not yield to the demon clan. The heavenly devil old man said sternly. This old man will die, but I will drag a few of the demon clan down with me. The demon capital. The demon capital was at its peak. Millions of ultimate variant demon emperors, and countless ordinary demon emperors. There were close to 1,000 demon emperors from other planes who were 10 times stronger than the Woodfern Great Emperor. At this time, the pagoda master who was trying to escape was caught by one of the demon emperors from another plane. Ha 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 ha. At this moment, the pagoda master's face was as pale as a sheet of paper. His teeth were chattering and he was curled up in a corner. His bowels and bladder sprayed out, and he was so scared that tears streamed down his face. His heart had completely collapsed. There was no way the pagoda master could stay calm. Even if he were alone in the demon capital, he wouldn't be able to escape unscathed from Emperor Woodfern and the other native demons. But right now, there were close to 1,000 demons that were 10 times stronger than Emperor Woodfern. The pagoda master even found a few demon emperors that were 100 or even 1,000 times stronger than the Woodfern Great Emperor. Once a demon the arch of this level made a move, this plane would be annihilated. Heavens! There are so many great demons that we can't defeat. Any one of them could kill all the living beings in our plane. Resist? We can't resist at all. The pagoda master was so scared that he started sobbing. Although he has the cultivation of a pagoda master, he's still very weak. I can squash him to death with a single finger. A large group of demon emperors surrounded the pagoda master playfully. Their faces were filled with malevolence and perversion. It was as if a group of burly men had surrounded a delicate young girl and were about to do something improper. Ah! Everyone! This fellow is the leader of our plane's humans, the pagoda master. Ah! It's him. It's this fellow? He actually tried to escape and was caught by you all. Ah! The Woodfern Great Emperor roared with laughter and took a step forward, glaring at the pagoda master. Ah! It's actually you. You actually fell into our hands. Ah! Haven't you always been arrogant? Ah! The leader of the human race. What a noble existence. But today you've become a prisoner of our demon race. Pagoda Master, I'm going to play with you until you wish you were dead. Ah. Chapter 545. Ah. The Tower Master nearly fainted from the fright of the Woodfern Great Emperor's words. Everyone, this is the leader of the human race. He has ruled over the humans of this plane for a very long time. He has always been the spiritual pillar of the human race. The Woodfern Great Emperor walked closer to the Tower Master, licking his lips. Droplets of stinky saliva dripped from the corner of his mouth. I wonder what his brains taste like. I've always wanted to suck his brains dry drop by drop, but I've never had the chance. But now, Kikik, impudent. A powerful great emperor of the monster race unleashed his aura, forcing the Woodfern Great Emperor to take a step back. Since he's a Pagoda Master, his brains aren't for you to enjoy, Great Emperor Woodfern. Yes, the Woodfern Great Emperor hurriedly tried to curry favor. No, don't suck my brains. No. The Tower Master's mind was on the verge of collapse. He was like a young lady surrounded by countless powerful men, about to be ravaged but unable to resist. Please don't suck my brain juice. Please don't suck my brain juice. At this moment, the Pagoda Master's mind was filled with images of horrified corpses with their brains sucked dry. He sighed repeatedly in his heart. I never thought that I would have such a glorious life, killing demons and roaming the Jianghu. But in the end, my brain juice is going to be sucked dry. How tragic. No. I can't die here. I can't let them suck my brains away. Kikik, 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 kikik. The great emperors of the monster race let out mocking laughter as they approached the Tower Master. This is fun. He's actually the leader of the human race in this plane? That's right. Everyone, it's not satisfying to just suck his brains like this. I have a suggestion, said a monkey-faced demon emperor. A great emperor of the monster race said with a smile. Why don't we crack open his head first but not let him die immediately? How about we let the demon emperor suck his brains bit by bit so that he will die slowly while howling in pain? What do you think? No. Wouldn't it be more fun to find a demon the arch to suck his brain juice and then possess him before sneaking into their Yaoxia pagoda? Ga. It's not fun at all. This emperor has brought some demonic beasts with extremely strong reproductive abilities. Let's have these demonic beasts. How about I complete the mating process with this human Pagoda Master? Ah, I'm really a genius. Another monster race emperor let out a perverted laugh. Moo. Not far away there was a group of wild beasts that were as large as elephants. Long hair, filthy and smelly. It was wagging its tail and looking at the Tower Master with stupid and cruel eyes. These giant beasts were dragged to the ground, each as thick as an adult's thigh. They plowed deep ditches on the ground and smoke and dust filled the air. There are 49 mammoth beasts in total, and 33 of them are male. Then, let them have a good time with this Tower Master. Ga. Ha. Ah. All the demon emperors. They all burst out with deafening laughter. No. The Tower Master's neck tilted and he fainted. Pa! A demon the arch slapped the Tower Master's face fiercely from a distance, breaking all his teeth. The Pagoda Master suddenly woke up from his stupor. You are the leader of the human race in this plane. A great emperor whose aura was as strong as the abyss, and every pore of his cell seemed to have giant beasts wriggling, locked the Tower Master with his demon sense and said indifferently. Gugugugu. The Tower Master was completely choked and couldn't say anything. At this moment, the Tower Master finally understood what it meant to be a fish on the chopping board. That's right. He's the leader of the human race in this plane and we've been fighting for countless years. Neither of us has been able to gain the upper hand, and we've been locked in a stalemate for who knows how long. Great Emperor Woodfern shouted anxiously. The demon emperor with a powerful aura waved his hand. Everyone, since this guy is the leader of the human race in this plane, I suggest that we don't suck his brains for now, and don't kill him. Oh? What do you mean, Great Emperor? Since this human Tower Master has walked right into our trap, why don't we kill him? To us, this human race Pagoda Master doesn't have any value at all. Are you trying to use this idiot to set up a trap for the human race ants of this plane? How boring. This plane is far too weak. Any one of our great emperors could easily destroy it, and all of the demon heroes would be destroyed in a single blow. There's no way they would be able to put up any resistance. In the face of power, everything else is nothing. There's no need to use this Tower Master to plot against the human race. A ferocious demonic the arch bared its fangs and glared at the pagoda master, its throat gurgling with saliva. Why don't we just eat him? He's a tower master after all, and there's some immortal energy in his brain. It'll be good for us to suck him up. No. I beg you. Don't eat me. Don't eat me. The tower master's mental defenses crumbled. His teeth were all shattered and he couldn't even keep his mouth shut. It was a hilarious sight to behold. Ha 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 ha. The demon the arch who'd suggested not executing the tower master laughed. You're wrong, everyone. What I'm trying to say is that this tower master is too insignificant. There's no fun in killing him. It's like stepping on an ant. Why don't we take him to the devil hero domain during the final battle 3 days later and make him beg for mercy, eat sh*t, sing praises to our demon clan, and play the role of a lackey. In this way we can greatly humiliate all the human clan and make them vomit blood. What do you think? Isn't it more interesting in this way? Oh? Ah. Good. This is great. We'll humiliate him as much as we want. We'll humiliate the leader of the human race in front of the human race. How fun. Ah. We'll force him to eat shit and have him copulate with the mammoth beast. Ah. That's a perfect idea. Human, do you want to have your brain sucked dry or live on and be humiliated? One of the demon thearchs laughed. Life. I want to live. I want to live. I'm willing to be humiliated. As long as I can live, I'm willing to do anything. The pagoda master let out a heart-wrenching howl. Ah. No wonder the human race is so weak. So weak. Their pagoda master was just a piece of trash. Ah. Also, everyone, I have something to say. The tower master's eyes flashed with a perverted ruthlessness. I'm not a leader. I'm not even a leader. You piece of trash. Hearing the pagoda lord's words, Emperor Woodfern leaped forward and kicked the tower master's head, sending him flying. You and I are mortal enemies. You're the strongest human in this plane. You've opened the eye of heaven and have a half-immortal body. You deserve to be the leader. But now you're a prisoner. How dare you deny your identity? What a joke. No. I'm not denying it. I'm no longer the leader. Right now the leader of this plane is Xiao Han. The pagoda lord let out an unwilling howl, like that of a wild beast as he mentioned Xiao Han's name. His voice was filled with venom. Xiao Han's battle prowess has completely and utterly surpassed mine. He's the new leader of this plane. The entire human race worships him and puts their faith in him. You've thrown me into exile. Xiao Han. He's the leader of the human race. Fellow demon thearchs, you should be torturing, humiliating, and killing him. Instead, you captured me and forced me to suffer in his place. Suffering. Why should I take Xiao Han's place? Damn it. He's the one who deserves to die. Xiao Han? What Xiao Han? I've never heard of him. Tower Master. You're spouting nonsense. Great Emperor Woodfern roared. Impossible. Great Emperor Woodfern, you must have heard of Xiao Han. Do you remember the Silver-Masked Demon Emperor? The Silver-Masked Demon Emperor once snuck into the demon capital and kidnapped Yen Lang. Yes. The Silver-Masked Demon Emperor is Xiao Han. Xiao Han is extremely talented. He can disguise himself as a demon. Flawless. I personally ordered him to disguise himself as the Silver-Masked Demon Emperor and sneak into the demon capital. What? The Silver-Masked Demon Emperor. Countless demon thearchs, ultimate variant demon emperors, and variant demon emperors roared and screamed. Devil Hero Domain. A large number of devil heroes entered the Devil Hero Domain and prepared for the final battle. Immortal Devil Hero Pagoda, we'll protect you with our lives. Wu Mu looked at the Devil Hero Pagoda and sighed. Ever since I was young, the Devil Hero Pagoda has been a symbol of glory and peace for the human race. Now it's under threat. I hope that the peace of this plane can continue. We, the swordsmen, were born for this belief. At this moment, Wu Mu's spiritual wave swept out. At this moment, there were more than 1 billion people in the True Chi realm in the Devil Hero Domain. However, only a few million of them had the identity of Devil Heroes. Most of the human martial artists who did not have the identity of Devil Heroes were below the True Chi realm. There were even many rookies at the first and second level of True Chi realm. Brother Wu, although we have a lot of people, there are less than 10,000 people who have reached the expansion point realm and have the ability to fight against ordinary demon emperors, Heaven's Devil Old Man said worriedly. There are a lot of people, but forget it. I hope there aren't too many demon emperors among the demon race. The ancient giants have reached the 7th and 8th level of True Chi realm. Including some sect masters who are not devil heroes, there are only a few thousand of them. Fang Ling also said in a low voice. The 9th level of True Qi realm. That's about 100 people. Dong Fangqin's mouth twitched. Of course, the 9th level of True Qi realm is qualified to compete for the ancient giants. It's impossible for a weak plane like ours to produce too many 9th level of True Qi realm. The 10th level of True Qi realm is even rarer. The only chance of victory in the battle 3 days later is to rely on the human wave tactic. Use our lives and blood to make up for the lack of combat power. There are so many martial artists. After this battle, I wonder how many will survive. Perhaps all of them will be wiped out. Junior brother Xiao Han? Fang Ling looked at the Devil Hero Pagoda. Devil Hero Pagoda. The House of Psyche where Xiao Han was in seclusion. Outside the House of Psyche where Xiao Han was in seclusion, a large group of devil heroes were kneeling. Among them, 12 elders were kneeling in a row. Behind them were many senior devil heroes of the Devil Hero Pagoda. They were all kneeling in unison. Young hero Xiao Han, you should be able to hear us. The situation is very critical. The battle is about to begin. These elders and senior devil heroes all spoke in a praying tone. Right now, the entire human race is hoping that you can come out of seclusion and save the people from the disaster. Inside the House of Psyche, Xiao Han was still in a deep sleep. He was still brewing. Inside the House of Psyche, all kinds of illusions stacked on top of each other. The 4 seasons appeared one after the other. Xiao Han's body was immovable, like a statue that had existed since the beginning of time. However, is the battle about to begin? Is the demon race going to launch the final battle against the human race? I can vaguely sense a monstrous amount of evil demonic qi coming from the direction of the demon capital. The quality of this demonic qi is very high, many times stronger than Emperor Woodfern's. It's definitely not from the demon race of our plane. However, I can't come out of seclusion for the time being. All the accumulations in my soul are currently being compressed. My life potential is also being compressed to its limit. This is the critical moment. I need to compress all the accumulations into a single point, condense them and explode with a bang. I can break through the 70th true acupoint and complete the 10th cycle of cleansing of my natal talisman. The number of cleanses will be heaven-defying. I can't come out of seclusion now, or all my previous efforts will go to waste. However, I should be able to succeed before the final battle. After that, I will go on a killing spree and kill all the invading demon race. Speaking of which, my demon emperor left arm has been starving for a long time. The hunger and thirst are unbearable. It needs nourishment. Chapter 546. Monster Capital. The entire monster capital was in a state of frenzy. Silver Masked Demon Emperor. The Pagoda Master had spread the secret that the Silver Masked Demon Emperor was Xiao Han in disguise. Countless demons from other dimensions had traveled thousands of miles to this weak dimension just for the sake of the Silver Masked Demon Emperor. For the high-level origin demonic qi. However, after they came to this plane, they couldn't find the Silver Masked Demon Emperor no matter where they searched. They dug 3 feet into the ground but still couldn't find him. But now, you can wear out iron shoes in fruitless search only to find it effortlessly. Roar. A demonic arch that looked like a war god reached out and grabbed the Pagoda Master. He grabbed the Pagoda Master's neck like a little chick. Boom. As the demonic chi rushed out, the Pagoda Master's half-immortal body began to shrink and his skin shriveled. No. The Pagoda Master let out a heart-wrenching scream like a pig being slaughtered. Spare me. Demon the Arch, spare me. Xiao Han? Silver Masked Demon Emperor? What's going on? Make it clear. Otherwise, die. The Demon the Arch said coldly. Yes. Xiao Han is the Silver Masked Demon Emperor. This is absolutely true. The Pagoda Master shouted. Moreover, he was able to discern her expression and immediately added. Are the Demon Thearchs also looking for the Silver Masked Demon Emperor? No, are they also looking for Xiao Han? Where is he? Countless Thearchs of the Demon Thearchs asked. He's in seclusion in the Demon Hero Pagoda. He will definitely participate in the battle in 3 days. The Pagoda Master felt the pleasure of revenge. Xiao Han. I'm in a very sorry state now, but don't think you'll have a good time either. These powerful monsters are looking for you. If you fall into their hands, your situation will only be 10 times worse than mine. Awesome. Xiao Han, I didn't expect you to have such a day. These Demon Thearchs are even more powerful than the Pagoda Master who attacked you outside the Genius Zone. They're even more evil and murderous. Let's see how you deal with them. Does Shao Han have the high-level origin energy of the demon thearchs? Some demon thearchs asked impatiently. Yes, yes. Before ordering Shao Han to sneak into the demon metropolis. I've checked Shao Han's body before. Inside his heart, there's a powerful source of energy of the monster clan that can detonate this plane. If this demon race origin energy is released, it can easily destroy the Yaoxiao pagoda. The pagoda master said fervently. Ah! It was indeed true. Ah! It turned out that the silver-masked demon emperor really existed. It was a human in disguise. Moreover, there is indeed a high-level demon clan's origin energy in his body. Shao Han's heart. We must get it. Then the plan remains the same. Attack the Devil Hero region, kill all the human devils and capture Shao Han alive. Time ticked by. In these 3 days time passed extremely slowly. It became a kind of torment. Of course. This torment belonged to the human race. Yaoxia region. The day before the final battle. At this moment, the human clan chivalrous heroes and the other martial artists had already formed a battle formation. Everyone had their weapons in their hands, and they were all in the state of true chi and the state of flesh. They adjusted to the best state. Some alchemists distributed medicinal pills to each of the human warriors who participated in the battle. There were elixirs that could quickly restore true chi, healing elixirs, and even poison. At this moment, the human warriors who entered the Yaoxia region to participate in the battle. The number of people was close to 10 billion. The densely packed human martial artists formed a city wall with their flesh and blood, surrounding the Yaoxia region tightly. Among them, most were physical body realm martial artists. Physical body realm martial artists. They were all on the outer layer of the Yaoxia region, leaving the inner layer to the true energy realm martial artists. Naturally, the physical body realm martial artists could not withstand the sharp attacks of the demon clan. An ordinary demon emperor could tear apart countless physical body realm martial artists. These physical body realm martial artists were purely cannon fodder in the outer layer. However, they were still prepared to die. Their beliefs were indestructible and would not be shaken. They wanted to use their lives to buy a little time for the true energy realm martial artists in the inner layer. So that when the demon clan tortured and killed the physical body realm martial artists in the outer layer, the true energy realm martial artists in the inner layer would have relatively more time to attack the demon clan. The hundreds of thousands of physical body realm disciples of the Pure Rain sect were also arranged to the front line, unafraid of death. And all of the top 100 eternal giants on the Yaoxia region at this moment, there were 86 people. They all revolved around the Yaoxia Tower, forming the last line of defense of the human clan. Of course, when the demon clan launched an attack, they would also look for opportunities to fight back. Night. The night was bitterly cold. The cold moon hung high in the sky. More than 10 billion human warriors made bonfires, either sitting or standing. On the grassland of the Yaoxia region, the fire was like the stars in the sky. The atmosphere was extremely sad and beautiful. This was the last night before the final battle, and it might also be the last night for these human warriors. Of course, it might even be the last night for all the human creatures in this plane. Now, perhaps our only advantage is the number. Some senior martial artists were saying to the younger generation. Because of genetic reasons, the demon clan can't reproduce like us humans. Therefore, in theory, in any plane, the number of the demon clan is actually less than that of the human clan. In this battle, we can only rely on the human wave tactic, using endless lives in exchange for a chance of survival. Uncle, don't worry. We will definitely win. Hey young man, you can't say that, because as long as there is a human in this plane, we will fight with the demon clan to the end. Moreover, we still have Shao Han. The unparalleled hero Shao Han. At the critical moment, Shao Han will definitely come forward and kill the demon clan. The next day. Early morning. This was the moment of the decisive battle between the human clan and the demon clan. Everyone in the Yaoxia region was solemn and quiet. All kinds of true energy rushed to the 9 heavens, dyeing the sky into colorful light, extremely magnificent. Tens of billions of pairs of eyes stared in the direction of the demon metropolis. 2 hours later. Boom, boom, suddenly, a mass of blood-red demonic cloud, boundless, covered the sky and the sun, rolling from the direction of the demon metropolis. In this terrifying demonic cloud, it was filled with evil and monstrous demon chi. This mass of demonic cloud was still constantly changing color, turning into a terrifying color like the blood sea of hell, overwhelming the mountains and overturning the seas. Supreme oppressing the world. Crack, crack. As the demonic cloud floated, the space began to disintegrate and collapse inch by inch. An extremely dangerous aura descended from the sky, attacking the hearts of every human in the Wuxia region. The sky above their heads began to tremble and cracks appeared in the sky. The sky was collapsing. In the demonic cloud, it kept shaking, making the sound of destruction. The energy that could destroy heaven and earth was brewing and emanating in the demonic cloud, and the sun was blocked. The world was dark. It was like the traces of a natural disaster of the end of the world. Boom! A torrent of demon chi descended from the sky. In a split second, the battle formation that the human warriors had formed crumbled. The warriors of the physical body realm in the periphery were all sent flying, spitting out blood. They fell to the ground. The warriors of the true energy realm in the inner periphery were also trembling. There was a stifling feeling in their chests. Their blood and chi were surging, and their souls began to tremble in pain. Some of the true energy realm in the first level. The true energy realm in the second level, including the true energy realm in the third level, could not stabilize their bodies. They were blown away in all directions, spitting out blood and injured. Even Wu Fu. His face was pale. Oh no. Too powerful. We haven't even fought, and our 10 billion human allied forces are already showing signs of defeat. How terrifying are the demons hibernating in the demonic cloud. They only released a bit of their aura, and it completely suppressed the true energy in my body, and I even have a terrifying feeling that my true energy is being forcibly devoured. At this moment, the demonic cloud completely dispersed. Ah. Too weak. Too weak. Weaker than ants. Endless laughter and mockery burst out in the sky. Then, the army of the demon clan had appeared above the Wuxia domain. Thousands of great demon emperors. Millions of ultimate mutant demon emperors. Endless, densely packed ordinary demon emperors that looked like locusts. The lineup was magnificent. Powerful. It would only take a tenth of a breath for this demon army to charge forward, and this plane would explode. For example, the thousands of great demon emperors standing in front of them. Any one of them was a terrifying existence that could instantly kill a tower master. I can crush all of you ants with one finger. Unimaginably weak. I don't even know how to kill them. Bang. 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 The ancient giants and the 12 elders that were hovering around the Wuxia pagoda were all shocked by the terrifying demonic aura circulating between heaven and earth. They all spat out blood and were seriously injured. Oof, 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 puff. Countless ancient giants and true energy realm martial artists all spat out blood and retreated rapidly. There was no way to fight this battle. They were not on the same level at all. The 10 billion human allied forces could barely hold on for a second. It was indeed a battle between giants and ants. Despair. A deep sense of despair gripped every member of the human race. The densely packed humans knelt down, looked up at the sky and shed silent tears. They had lost all hope. The entire Wuxia region was dead silent. You, Tower Master, leader of the human race, come out, kneel and speak. One of the demonic emperors violently pushed the pagoda master up, causing him to kneel on both knees. Human race. We humans will never be a match for the demon clan. Our life level is inferior to the demon clan. The Tower Master hysterically howled, we humans are lowly. We are born lowly. We can only be the slaves of the great demon clan, their food. We can't resist. We are worse than ants. How can we resist the greatest creatures in the universe? Kneel, surrender, and be willing to be the slaves of the demon clan to be their food. This is our honor. Don't resist. Ha 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 and ha ha ha, well said. The monstrous emperors let out excited laughter. Then, an ultimate variant demon emperor carried 2 large buckets of excrement and served them. Human pagoda master, your words are very good. Amongst the lowly races of the human race, you are considered to be slightly smarter. Then, our monster race is also fair in rewards and punishments. This is the feces of the monster race, great emperor, eat it. This is a gift. Enjoy it, understand? Don't waste it or I'll suck your brains dry. A great demon emperor stepped on the tower master and knocked him to the ground. Yes, yes, thank you for the gift, great demon lords. The tower master forced a strange expression and hurriedly grabbed the dirty things in the buckets and put them into his mouth. Ah. By the way, I now announce that any human who is willing to enjoy the excrement of the great demon emperors will be spared from death. Ah. Many great demon emperors roared. At this moment, you demon clan should eat excrement. However, I won't give you this chance. Because I'll kill all of you. All of you will explode. A cold voice rang out from the great demon pagoda. A young and thin figure slowly rose from the top of the great demon pagoda. His gaze was like a king looking down on the world, and he had a peerless domineering air about him. Xiao Han is out of seclusion. Countless humans roared. Hope was reborn. Chapter 547. In this dimension, the final battle between the human race and the demon race was finally taking place in the Yaoxia domain. Billions of humans formed an alliance to resist the attack of the demon race. However, the scene of the battle was thousands of miles away from what any human had expected. The battle was not intense. It was not tragic. It was not heroic. There was no possibility of them being evenly matched. There was no possibility of both sides suffering heavy losses. One-sided. It was a completely one-sided battle. Among the demon race, not to mention the mutated demon emperors and ordinary mutated demon emperors, there were more than 1,000 demon emperors at the level of the Sky Pillar leader. Moreover, each demon emperor could completely destroy the native demon emperor of this dimension. Great Emperor Woodfern. Each demon emperor only needed to lift a finger to destroy the demon hero Pagoda. It was not an exaggeration to say that it was a battle between ants and giants. Even the Pagoda Lord of this plane was kneeling in midair, howling in grief and eating feces. His half-immortal body was dim and devoid of light. Just as the humans of this dimension fell into deep despair and were about to be destroyed helplessly, Xiao Han, who had been in seclusion all this time, finally appeared. Xiao Han slowly rose from the top of the Yaoxia Pagoda alone. Then he walked step by step as if he was taking a stroll in a park. However, the wind and clouds were surging in all directions. A gust of wind blew past, fluttering Xiao Han's clothes. Xiao Han's long hair fluttered slightly, and his entire body was filled with elegance. For some reason, once Xiao Han appeared, the shattered wounds in the hearts of the billions of humans that had already collapsed rapidly healed. An inexplicable strong confidence rose in their hearts. Billions of eyes of the human race stared at Xiao Han. None of the humans spoke. They just stared at Xiao Han with worship in their eyes. He prayed and prayed for blessings. It was as if he was looking at an omnipotent God who reigned supreme in the heavens and the earth. As for the demon army, seeing Xiao Han's appearance, the crowd instantly fell silent. The beast monarchs and beast dominators stared at Xiao Han with greedy eyes, as if they were about to make a move. Ah! This person is Xiao Han. He is also the silver-masked demon emperor. He once snuck into the demon capital and kidnapped Yen Lang. In his heart, there was indeed the origin energy of a high-level demon clan. Ah! At this time, the pagoda master put down the food in his hand. His voice was extremely perverted. He had completely lost control of his emotions. Oh, Pagoda Lord. The corners of Xiao Han's mouth twitched as he glanced at the Pagoda Lord. A disgusted look appeared in his eyes. Is it delicious? I heard that on the eve of the final battle, you actually fled and abandoned the plane. Of course, everyone has their own ambitions. If you fled, then so be it. But why are you submitting to the demon race now? Coming to the territory of our human race to eat sh*t. Sigh, you're really worse than a pig or a dog. Pooh! Hearing Xiao Han's mocking and cutting remarks, the tower master was furious. A mouthful of blood shot out from his mouth. He spat out 10 meters of blood, but his face was filled with a sinister smile. Ah! Xiao Han, go ahead and humiliate me. Humiliate me as much as you like. It doesn't matter. Because you'll die even faster than me. Even earlier. Ah! No. The allied forces of the demon race from the alien plane have arrived. With your strength alone, you can't turn the tide. You'll definitely die. Moreover, now that I've surrendered to the demon race and become their slave, they may not kill me. I can still live. According to my vital functions, it won't be a problem for me to live for another 1,000,000 years or even 10 million years. And you're going to die immediately. Ah! All the humans in this plane will die. No one will know about my disgraceful behavior today. Ah! Live on. That's the best. Xiao Han, you're complacent and think that you're a heaven-defying genius. Compared to you, my aptitude is like a firefly competing with the sun and moon. But, you're going to die. But I can live on. Ah! Don't you find it ironic? Ah! Your fate is ironic. Ah! The Pagoda Lord laughed crazily. Xiao Han was not angry at all. He lowered his head slightly and pondered, as if he was considering something. You're the silver-masked demon emperor? You're also the most powerful human in this plane? Not bad. You're able to remain calm under the aura of our demon race army? That's commendable, said a demon emperor with a golden horn on his forehead. His body was like an abyss, and under the surface of his body were dense demon veins. His demonic power was as violent as the sun, moon, and stars. He was not in a hurry to kill Xiao Han. Instead, he began to talk with assurance. Now that the demon race army had surrounded and controlled the Yaoxia domain, and thousands of peak-level demon emperors were controlling the situation, it was impossible to reverse the situation. Therefore, these demons did not rush to attack Xiao Han. It was as if they were playing with their prey with their thin fingers. The humans in your realm are very weak and can't be mentioned in the same breath as the humans in my realm. However, Silver-Masked Demon Emperor, your spirit and aura have surpassed that of the human clan's tower master in my realm. You're really extraordinary. You must have the aptitude to ascend and become an immortal. But it's a pity? Shut up. Suddenly, Xiao Han interrupted the demon Thearch's lengthy speech. You demons, all of you, shut up. I'll kill you later. Before that, I'll clean up my sect and kill this shameless pagoda lord first. He made the humans in our plane lose face. Now, I'm going to execute him on behalf of all the living beings of the human race in the entire plane and the Yaoxia domain. We'll settle the internal affairs first, then settle the external affairs. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. Xiao Han's words caused the demon race army to burst into laughter. All the demon emperors and demon emperors were convulsing with laughter. Ah, what an idiot. He really thinks he's an immortal. Even if an ordinary immortal descends, he won't be able to destroy the demon race army at its peak. Ah. In an ordinary plane, any pagoda lord can only die in front of us. I'm not going to suck this human's brain. He's sick in the head. His brain must be cloudy and it won't taste good. Dig out his heart. However, on the side of the human clan, although they vaguely felt that it was indeed very difficult for Xiao Han to fight against the elite coalition army of the demon clan alone, they did not know why. When Xiao Han said those words, they did not know why. They believed it without a doubt. Because Xiao Han's manner of speaking was already unparalleled. At this moment, Xiao Han's words and actions. Naturally, there was a sense of arrogance and bossiness. It meant that he had already grown up. The belief of invincibility and the belief of victory were planted in the depths of every human's heart. Idiot. A villain intoxicated by success. A trash who was born as a living target. I'm now under the protection of the Demon Race Coalition Army. There are thousands of demon emperors. Can you kill me? Ah. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Kill me. I'm right here. Kill me if you have the guts. The pagoda lord's mind was already in serious trouble. His whole person showed a sense of insanity. He stood up, pointed at Xiao Han and laughed loudly. Humph. Insignificant human race. If you can really be under the protection of us demon race emperors. If you kill this pagoda lord, we will also lose face. A red-faced demon looked at Xiao Han coldly. The demon chi around his body was surging like a sea of blood. I want to kill you. Suddenly, Xiao Han gathered all his essence, chi and spirit. The solid spiritual power star in his brain became thicker and thicker. It was completely condensed. All my accumulation, foundation, and life potential have been compressed to a point. It's about to explode. Break through the 70th true meridian in one go and start the 10th round of refining talismans. However, I still need a detonating point. And killing this human pagoda lord is the best detonating point. It will ignite all my accumulation and potential and explode. Dominate the world. This pagoda lord. He once bullied me in the past. He once threatened me and forced me to go to the demon capital to assassinate my husband. More or less, he left a shadow in my heart. Today I will kill this pagoda lord with my own hands. It can make my heart completely perfect and pure. Flawless and untainted. In this way, I will ignite my accumulation and break through the 70th true meridian. My achievement will be completely heaven-defying. I will surpass immortals. Pagoda Lord die. Xiao Han let out a clear roar. Dragons and tigers accompanied him in all directions. Clang, a bright saber light illuminated the dusky sky. It was like the first ray of light before dawn. The first ray of dawn. This saber light did not have any violence, killing intent, or ferocity. There was only reason, a great will, and the essence of the saber Tao. The saber light flashed. It contained a supreme spiritual power fluctuation, and it could do as it pleased. The saber light slashed towards the pagoda lord. Time seemed to slow down and then it became fast again. Under this saber light, all the mortals and even the demons were affected. They couldn't help but recall the past. In a flash. Impudent. He actually dared to attack. Stop him. We can't let him kill the pagoda lord in front of us. This is a slap in the face. We can't let him succeed. More than 1,000 of us demon thearchs are gathered here. If a young human kills the people we protect in front of us, we will be abandoned by the demon god. In the blink of an eye, dozens of terrifying demonic hands grabbed the saber light. These demonic hands emitted a power that could destroy the past and the present, suppress the sun and moon, and sweep through the wilderness. Once they grabbed, the surroundings were filled with the terrifying sounds of planets disintegrating and exploding. However, the saber light was many times faster than light. It was also extremely sharp and domineering. The dozens of demonic hands either did not manage to grab the saber light in time or were directly cut by it. It was irresistible. The saber light pierced through the pagoda lord's body. Roar! The pagoda lord let out a heart-wrenching scream. His entire body began to shatter and disintegrate. His half-immortal body began to collapse. All the array formations in his body were destroyed, and the treasures in his storage ring all exploded and fell out. In less than a tenth of a breath, the pagoda lord was disintegrated into dust by the saber light and scattered with the wind. At that moment, Hong! The true meridians in Xiaohan's body emitted a dazzling divine light. True Qi surged out from his 69 true meridians like a river and formed a natal talisman. On the natal talisman there were birds, beasts, mountains, rivers, the sun, the moon and the stars, countless runes, immortal aura and thousands of rays of light. It was a spectacular sight. A terrifying pressure spread in all directions with the natal talisman as the center. The air in the surroundings withered, the light twisted and the space caved in. At that moment, pung! The innate talisman shuddered violently, and then emitted a crashing sound. Streams of immortal qi and true qi began to repeatedly cleanse the innate talisman. Xiaohan is starting to cleanse the natal talisman. He's opened the 70th true meridian. The 10th round of cleansing. The number one powerhouse of the human tribe let out a heart-wrenching howl. Chapter 548. After killing the Tower Master, Xiaohan's true qi burst out from his body and condensed into his natal talisman. This natal talisman was more than 10,000 zhang long and wide. It was boundless, covering the sky and covering the sun. Its entire body emitted a dazzling brilliance, and it was as warm as white jade. Water, fire, wind, thunder, and all kinds of strange phenomena rolled on it. A terrifying pressure caused sand and stones to fly in all directions. Many demon emperors in the army of the demon race could not stand still and could not help but retreat. Waves of true qi that could destroy heaven and earth shot out from the natal talisman, causing the heavens and the earth to shake violently. The tremors shocked the demon race coalition army, and made the hearts of the humans tremble and cry out in excitement. In the previous 9 rounds of cleansing, Xiaohan had completed a total of 67,000 cleansing of the natal talisman. This way, the pure true qi power of the natal talisman had almost exceeded 100 trillion cauldrons. Such a powerful true energy, without the support of any true energy divine art, could kill countless pagoda masters with just a bit of it. For example, Xiaohan, the tower master of this plane. Not to mention resisting him, just the slightest fluctuation of true qi from Xiaohan's natal talisman was enough to turn him into dust. Now this natal talisman was floating in the air. Endless yuan qi of heaven and earth swarmed towards it, causing the space around it to cave in continuously. Moreover, immortal music was lingering on it, and the immortal qi and spiritual qi of heaven and earth were constantly washing and refining the natal talisman. Xiaohan was in the 10th round, which was also the last round of cleansing the natal talisman. Hua 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 hua. Again and again the natal talisman was continuously being cleansed. Every time it was cleansed, the natal talisman's size increased. Every time it was cleansed, the aura and pressure of the natal talisman skyrocketed. Ah! An unparalleled hero. Unparalleled, above the immortals. Xiaohan, the immortal of the land, the great hero of my plane. The descent of deities. Over 10 billion humans were crying and shouting at the top of their lungs. He kept kowtowing to Xiaohan's life talisman, praying and submitting. Xiaohan hovered in the air below the natal talisman and looked at the demon army indifferently. There was a kind of spirit that even if there were millions of people, he would still go forward. The 10th round of cleansing, 5,000 times. 5,500 times. 6,000 times. 7,000 times. 8,800 times. 10,000 times. In less than 10 breaths, the natal talisman had been cleansed more than 10,000 times. Furthermore, the speed of the cleansing was getting faster and faster. There was no end to it, and it would never stop. Above the 9 heavens, there was holy light sprinkling down continuously, with all kinds of immortal chi energy, some of the immortal chi in this plane. They were all sucked into the life talisman, causing the true energy of the life talisman to grow without end. As the number of washes skyrocketed, Xiaohan's natal talisman was increasing in length, width, and height. Soon it covered the entire Yaoxia domain. The jade natal talisman represented sacredness, nobility, and exquisiteness. It was warm, hard, and inviolable. It also had a firm will, and a peerless spirit that would rather die than live in dishonor. As soon as Xiaohan's natal talisman enveloped the entire Yaoxia domain, it seemed to have turned into jade. The ground had turned jade-colored. All of the buildings had turned jade-colored. Looking from afar, the Yaoxia domain could be seen as jade. In the distance, the humans who were paying attention to this battle couldn't help but kneel down, as if they were looking at a miracle, and kowtowed repeatedly. Ah! It has been cleansed more than 10,000 times. 15,000 times. When Xiaohan cleansed this natal talisman for the 9th round, he had cleansed it 15,000 times. But now, the 10th round of cleansing had broken this record. No. It's crazy. It has reached 20,000 times. Countless Yaoxia kowtowed, roared, and cried. On the side of the demon army. Finally, countless demons realized the power of this young man in front of them. They realized that they had seriously underestimated this seemingly small human opponent. Impossible. In this world, in the mortal world, how can anyone refine such a profound natal talisman? There can't be such a genius in the human race. This natal talisman is like the sun, moon, and stars, containing the great Tao of heaven and earth. Can easily kill any tower master. How can this guy be so powerful? This small plane shouldn't have given birth to such a monster-level human expert. Countless demons let out cries of terror. At this time, a large number of ordinary demon emperors and even mutated demon emperors couldn't calm down and directly flew into the sky, ready to escape. Buff, 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 buff. Any demon emperor who tried to escape would be shattered into pieces by the natural chi fluctuations of the natal talisman as soon as their bodies flew up into the air. Not even a speck of dust would be left. Ah! We can't escape. The demon race army was finally showing signs of collapse. Furthermore, something that made the demon clan even more alarmed happened. As soon as the bodies of the shattered demon overlords collapsed, a large amount of their body powder was absorbed. A powerful demonic chi vortex was emitted from Xiaohan's left arm. The demonic chi vortex was in the shape of a funnel, and it sucked in the pieces of the exploded bodies of the demons like a whirlwind. Jejia jejia jejia. At the same time, a terrifying will was emitted from the depths of Xiaohan's heart. The will of a demon god was emitted. It let out a joyful and hearty laugh. Wisps of demon god's will were added to Xiaohan's left monarch palm, causing it to devour the essence of the demon corpses at a speed 10 times, 100 times, or even 1,000 times faster than before. The demonic chi vortex emitted from the left monarch palm also began to expand, from the size of an acre to the size of 10 acres. It was like a horrifying mouth that was about to devour someone. He's devouring the bodies of the demons? His left arm. It emitted the supreme aura of the demon race. Kill him. Don't run, attack him now. He's trying to break through to the next realm. At this moment, his condition is extremely unstable. He can't activate his true chi divine art effectively. Now is the best chance to kill him. Surround him and kill him. Destroy his natal talisman. Scatter all of his true chi. Yes, all his energy and true chi are used to refine this natal talisman. He won't have time to deal with us. At this moment he's at his weakest. Kill him. Kill him. He's finally exposed the treasure of the demon race. How can the treasure of the demon race fall into the hands of a human? Kill him. Thousands of monarch beasts. It let out an earth-shattering roar, and waves of ferocious demonic aura shot toward Xiaohan. All kinds of demonic arts and treasures bombarded Xiaohan's natal talisman. The attacks of thousands of monarch beasts. It could be said that they could destroy the ages and destroy countless planes. As they attacked, countless illusions appeared, destroying heaven and earth. The spatial crystal walls all exploded and split apart. I'll interrupt your breakthrough. I'll cause your true chi to backfire and self-destruct. An extremely powerful monarch beast transformed into a golden hammer. It smashed toward Xiaohan with an unknown force of hundreds of millions of cauldrons. Hee hee, I'm refining my natal talisman and naturally can't be distracted. I can't use true chi to deal with you. However, Xiao Han's trump card is not true chi attacks. All the demons. Die for me. Destroy them all. Xiao Han's body was unmoving. Boom, Xiao Han's body suddenly trembled. His body gradually grew and lightning flickered all over. Earth chi spread out, and the embryonic form of the dual attribute immortal body appeared. It was supported by the indestructible golden body. Xiao Han's entire body became like a god of war. He was completely invincible, dominating the universe. Looking around, he couldn't find an opponent he could fight against. Boom, boom, boom. The first to arrive was a small portion of the demonic aura attack that struck Xiao Han's body. Xiao Han's indestructible golden body dissolved some of the attack's power. Then, the Starry Sky Dominator and Thunder God Tyrant body brazenly withstood the attack, protecting Xiao Han from harm. The next moment, Puchi, from Xiao Han's Sea of Consciousness, a majestic pillar of natal saber chi burst out. This natal saber chi was supported by supreme mental power. It could slay gods and slay immortals, dominate the myriad realms, and not be affected by the 6 paths of reincarnation. It could endure myriad tribulations and live eternally. Previously, when Xiao Han had swept through the Tower Masters outside the Genius Zone, he'd only released his solid mental power to kill. He hadn't used his natal saber chi. Now Xiao Han didn't hold back. Not only did he use his mental power to attack, but he also used his trump card, the great accomplishment natal saber chi. Mental power combined with saber intent. A powerful combination. The saber slashed out, destroying both gods and ghosts. Within the saber light, the phantom of the heavens appeared, as well as a door in the unseen world. This door was tightly shut, but it still exuded the aura of nature, uncanny workmanship, and a domineering saber aura. A powerful mental storm tore through everything, accompanied by the saber light. Pa pa pa, pa 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 pa. The densely packed demonic sovereigns were shredded into tile-like fragments by this saber. Then all the fragments were automatically absorbed into Xiao Han's left demonic sovereign palm. Xiao Han's eyes were completely bloodshot. With a flash of his saber, he killed 487 demonic sovereigns. One saber slaying 100 demonic sovereigns. What was domineering? This was domineering. What was swift and fierce? This was swift and fierce. What was invincible? This was invincible. Ah. This human is invincible. Some demonic sovereigns dodged Xiao Han's saber in an extremely embarrassing manner and fled in all directions. However, although they managed to dodge, their demonic bodies had already been shaken by the saber chi and the mental storm. As soon as they dodged, their demonic bodies began to peel off and be destroyed. They let out howls like pigs being slaughtered. We shouldn't have come to this dimension. There's an invincible human hiding here. Dead. I can't accept this. Buff, 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 buff. The bodies of the demonic sovereigns exploded one after another. Moreover, those demon emperors, whether they were ordinary demon emperors, mutated demon emperors, or ultimate mutated demon emperors, were all cut into pieces by the aftershocks of the saber chi. The sky was filled with demon blood and demon corpses. The entire Yaoxia region resounded with the demons' desperate wails and cries. It was a tragic scene. What demon race? What demon emperors? It's useless. Xiao Han will kill you like pigs and dogs. Chapter 549. Xiao Han launched an unparalleled attack. His solid mental strength was enhanced by the great accomplishment natal saber chi, and he even created the shadow of the gate of the saber realm. This attack was Xiao Han's strongest attack at the moment. Last time, when he was besieged by countless human tower masters, Xiao Han did not use his strongest attack because they were all of the same race. At this moment, facing the demon clan, Xiao Han no longer held back. With a slash of saber light, countless demon sovereigns were killed. Even the peerlessly powerful demon thearchs were killed in one move. A total of 487 demon thearchs were killed. Moreover, although some demon emperors did not face the attack head-on and dodged it, their bodies were soon shattered. The number of demon emperors killed by the aftershock of the saber chi also reached 187. In other words, Xiao Han killed 674 demon emperors with one slash. This kind of attack was rare. This was completely the attack of an immortal. Now the demon race army had been smashed into pieces by the impact. Just now, when the army of the demon clan descended upon the Yaoxia domain, it was a one-sided situation, completely crushing the human clan. Now, as soon as Xiao Han attacked, he killed countless demon sovereigns, a total of 674 demon thearchs. How could it not be a one-sided battle? A clash. A perfect clash. This slash caused the 10 billion humans to be completely enraged. None of them could control their emotions and began to shout Xiao Han's name. Some of them even shouted, "Long live Xiao Han! Long live Xiao Han!" However, Xiao Han knew his own strength. Although that saber strike just now was tyrannical and destroyed everything in its path. But it also consumed a lot of mental strength. It consumed a lot of mental strength and natal saber chi. This slash consumed almost half of my mental strength. Xiao Han knew. At this moment, the remaining demon emperors. They were not injured at all by Xiao Han's slash. There were about 400 of them who were only slightly injured. They watched helplessly as their attacks were destroyed by Xiao Han's saber. Moreover, many of the demonic thearchs and demonic sovereigns beside them died. It was a scene of devastation. Dense demon aura and demon body fragments, including demon blood and demon souls, they were all absorbed by Xiao Han's left arm. They all felt a deep sense of despair. They deeply felt Xiao Han's strength and invincibility. They had the illusion that they weren't facing a mortal, but an immortal who had descended from the immortal world. Some of the surviving beast emperors began to think of escaping. At that instant, a golden-horned monarch beast let out a cry of agony. "Let's work together. Let's work together again." Those who weren't killed by that human with a single slash were the lucky survivors. All of them were the strongest demonic thearchs. That slash just now must have consumed a lot of energy. We still have a chance. The life force of this human youth. He was still immortal, but just now he had used an immortal's attack. There was no way he wouldn't pay a price. Using the body of a mortal to attack with the means of an immortal, he must be at the end of his rope now. Don't be afraid. Since we were able to survive that slash just now, even if we were to face the same slash again, we wouldn't necessarily die. All of you have seen it, right? He has a supreme demon treasure on him that can absorb the corpses and souls of our dead demon clan. Kill. Fortune is found in danger. Kill him. Take his treasures. Execute the forbidden arts. Even at the cost of destroying your body, exploding your demonic meridians, burning your blood, kill him at all costs. Amidst the roar of the golden horn demon sovereign, the surviving few hundred demon sovereigns finally hardened their hearts and decided to join forces to fight Xiao Han to the death. At this moment, they were not only using their sure-kill demonic arts, but they were also using all kinds of forbidden arts. Sky Beast Remnant Body. A monarch beast exploded and turned into a blood dragon. Its aura was twice as ferocious as before. Monarch Beast Sacrificial Art. A demonic emperor's demonic blood burst out of its body, causing its demonic body to expand continuously. In an instant, it turned into an ancient, godlike monster and pounced towards Xiao Han. Formation of 10,000 beasts. A monarch beast's body burst out countless characters of the beast tribe, forming a demonic formation. The demonic formation was strong enough to trap an immortal and kill everything in its path. All the monarch beasts went all out. In order to kill Xiao Han, they used all their strength and paid a terrible price. Some of the monarch beasts suffered damage to their bloodline and genes after launching such an attack, causing their levels to drop. Some even suffered great damage to their vitality and could not recover within 10,000 years. They only had one goal, to kill Xiao Han. To snatch Xiao Han's left arm. To dig out Xiao Han's heart. The attacks of hundreds of monarch beasts and the violent demonic aura were enough to destroy the world. Fortunately, their attacks were all focused on Xiao Han. Therefore, this plane and the others in the Yaoxia region were not affected as much. At this moment, boom! In the sky, Xiao Han's natal talisman shook violently. The 10th round of cleansing was finally completed. Just now, Xiao Han did not stop the monarch beasts from executing their forbidden arts immediately. Instead, he gave them the chance to execute their ultimate moves. Xiao Han was waiting for his natal talisman to complete its cleansing. Now Xiao Han had finally succeeded. After unlocking the 70th acupoint, the 10th round of cleansing of the natal talisman had been cleansed for a total of 50,000 times. This round of cleansing far exceeded any of Xiao Han's previous 9 rounds of cleansing. My seclusion for a few days to squeeze out my foundation was not in vain. Now Xiao Han's entire aura had risen to another level. With a slight movement of his body, he could completely destroy an area. Wherever he went, the space shattered and everything turned into chaos. A large amount of space would evaporate. In between breaths, the mountains and rivers shook. Xiao Han's natal talisman was crystallized, emitting a noble and inviolable aura. It had a sense of twisting the universe, breaking fate, jumping out of the five elements and reversing yin and yang. It was unparalleled. Billowing holy light poured down. Waves of immortal Sanskrit chants came from this natal talisman, cleansing people's hearts. Saber light and sword shadows floated in the air. The tides surged and the river water lapped against the shore. Rolling up the snow. Wind and clouds gathered. They were all within. At this point, Xiao Han's natal talisman had been cleansed for a total of 117,000 times after 10 rounds of cleansing. The pure qi contained in it alone had reached 180,000 billion cauldrons. Powerful power. I can finally feel the incomparable power of true qi. Billowing steam. Good. My mental energy and saber qi have indeed been greatly depleted. Then I will use this true talisman. Come and shatter these demon thearchs. Die. I will destroy all of you. Suddenly Xiao Han raised his right hand. He clenched his right fist. This terrifying talisman directly turned into streams of light and merged into Xiao Han's right fist. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Xiao Han's right fist immediately turned into the eye of a storm. A hurricane raged, blowing countless spatial crystal walls apart. At this moment, hundreds of the strongest demon thearchs counterattacked with their strongest attacks. All of them bombarded near Xiao Han's body. Xiao Han also gathered the true qi contained in one of his natal talismans. All of it gathered on his right fist and he punched out. This punch contained an aura that even immortals would tremble in fear. This punch was like billions of volcanoes erupting together. This punch was like billions of heavenly dragons roaring together. This punch was like billions of planes being destroyed at the same time. Xiao Han's punch did not contain any true qi or skills. It was just a punch with all his strength. It was like a thunderbolt, an eagle flying in the sky, a goshawk catching a rabbit, and a divine dragon flying in the sky. This punch was the essence of power, and it could break through the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Bang! Finally, the punch formed by Xiao Han's natal talisman collided with the joint attack of hundreds of demon thearchs. Rumble. 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 The mountains collapsed and the earth cracked. The entire plain began to move. The continental plates were moving. The crust was shattering everywhere. Countless heavenly tribulations and strange phenomena appeared. Time and space seemed to have stopped. Boom, 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 all the human true qi realm martial artists in the Wuxia domain, all the ancient giants and giants, spared no effort to release the true qi stored in every true acupoint in their bodies, burned the supreme-grade true qi spirit stones, and released a layer of true qi shield to protect the plane as much as possible, so that it would not be destroyed by the attack of Xiao Han and the demons. There was a kind of aurora between heaven and earth and the entire plane. Under this kind of light, no one could open their eyes. The battle between Xiao Han and the demons only lasted for a breath, and then it ended. There was silence between heaven and earth. Xiao Han won. Did he win? Our plane, how is it now? Now. Every human in the Wuxia domain raised their eyes and looked at the sky. However, the aurora was so bright that they could not open their eyes. They all put their hands over their eyes and tried their best to look at the sky. Slowly, the aurora dissipated. It was no longer dazzling. Everyone's vision changed from blurry to clear. They could finally see it clearly. At this moment in the sky, there stood a proud, solitary figure of a young man. He had his hands behind his back. Around him, there were countless pieces of demon corpses floating. These pieces of corpses fell into the funnel-shaped vortex emitted from his left arm and were refined. Silence. There was silence between heaven and earth. Billions of people focused their eyes on the young man in the sky. After a few hundred breaths, the young man in the sky smiled slightly. We won. Xiao Han. We won. Billions of people finally burst into tears and all of them knelt down. Xiao Han. Just now, Xiao Han's natal talisman turned into a punch, with a force of 20 trillion cauldrons, and smashed the attacks of all the demon emperors. With one punch, hundreds of demon emperors were blown into pieces. It was a complete victory. Chapter 550. It was an unprecedented battle. A peerless battle. It was finally over. It ended with the victory of the human clan. A quiet and peaceful atmosphere once again appeared between heaven and earth. The air was filled with the fragrance of plants from the distant mountains. The oppressive atmosphere had completely disappeared. The layers of dead gray in the sky also faded into nothingness. The sky returned to its blue color and was full of vitality. Some of the plants and flowers that were originally withered and dried up tenaciously supported themselves and bloomed with exuberant vitality that represented prosperity. The streets and alleys of the secular world were originally shrouded by the overwhelming demon qi. The atmosphere was so strange and oppressive that even the animals were suffocating. Every household closed their doors. But now, the sounds of chickens crowing and dogs barking resounded in the streets and alleys again. If these sounds were in normal times, they would seem particularly anxious and irritating. But now they were no less than celestial music. The plain returned to normal. At this moment, the billions of humans in the Yaoxia region all looked up at the sky. They had gone through a lot from despair to the present rebirth. The ups and downs in their hearts were simply indescribable. They felt like they had survived a disaster, like survivors after a disaster. All of them quietly shed tears. Some of the young chivalrous spirits even burst into tears. Soon, they fixed their eyes on the young man who was floating in the void like a lone crane. It was this young man who, in a desperate situation, turned the tide with his own strength and destroyed the entire demon clan army. In a few moves he killed thousands of powerful demon emperors. It could be said that he was crushing dry weeds and smashing rotten wood. Like a hot knife through butter. As if he had entered an uninhabited land. This was the means of an immortal. Xiao Han. Now Xiao Han had become the leader and protector in the hearts of these demons. God. Faith. Xiao Han did not immediately land. He was still standing in the void. His eyes were slightly dazed. He seemed to be thinking about something. Xiao Han did not move, and none of the billions of humans below dared to move. Xiao Han did not speak, and none of the billions of humans below dared to speak. At this moment, the funnel-shaped demon chi vortex released by the demon emperor's palm tattoo on Xiao Han's left arm was getting bigger and bigger. The sky was filled with demonic blood, the remnant soul of the demon emperor, and the fragments of the demon emperor's body. All rivers flowed into the sea as they were devoured and refined by the funnel-shaped vortex of demonic qi. Xiao Han's entire left arm glowed brilliantly, emitting an ancient demonic glow that was extremely evil and powerful. It looked like Xiao Han's left biscuit emperor's palm. It actually wanted to devour and absorb all the fragments of the corpses of the monster race army. Only then was he willing to let it go. Countless demonic emperor crystal shards, demonic emperor mystic arts, and demonic emperor mystic arts poured into Zhuobing emperor's palm tattoo like a tidal wave. King, 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 king. Pieces of shattered demon emperor crystals reassembled themselves on Xiao Han's left biscuit emperor's palm and embedded themselves into the grooves on left biscuit emperor's palm tattoo. One after another, the demonic Thearka's ultimate killing techniques fused onto Xiao Han's left biscuit the arch tattoo. Ancient demon clan runes flashed continuously in Xiao Han's mind. Moon-swallowing thousand demons technique. The demon the arch immolates. Sky demon remnant body technique. Myriad demon immortal trapping formation. Demon the arch sun shooting art. Hum, hum, hum. These forbidden secret runes attacked Xiao Han's soul, trying to forcefully fuse into Xiao Han's soul, allowing Xiao Han to master these demonic the arch mystic arts. However, there were too many mystic arts flocking into his soul, causing Xiao Han's brain to almost explode. If it wasn't for the fact that his soul and mental strength were too strong, Xiao Han would definitely have either gone crazy or died from his brain exploding. Moreover, on Zhuobing Emperor's palm, the demonic veins were awakening crazily like mushrooms after the rain, and the capacity of each demonic vein was increasing exponentially. Absorbing the essence of the entire monster race army, thousands of demonic thearchs, millions of mutated demonic emperors, ultimate mutated demonic emperors, and countless ordinary demonic emperors, it was too much, it needed a period of time to digest. Therefore Xiao Han made a prompt decision, focused his eyes and looked down. At this moment, Xiao Han, 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 Xiao Han. The billions of humans below started barking and roaring at the top of their lungs. Even those ancient magnates and elders completely lost their composure, wept in pain and kowtowed like pounding garlic. Everyone, Xiao Han smiled faintly. As soon as he spoke, the billions of humans below all quietened down. This was authority. As soon as he spoke, the billions of humans were silent. Xiao Han completely had the authority of a peerless leader. No one dared to disobey his orders. Now the disaster has been averted. Elders, please lead the demonic hero army to the demon metropolis, and kill all the remaining demon race in our plane. Then, our plane will be unified by the human race and there will be no more demon emperors. I have already sensed it with my mental strength. In the demon metropolis, there are only some ordinary demon emperors. There are very few of them and most of them are demon generals. We can handle it. Yes. Yes. The 12 elders stood up together and stood with their hands on the ground. Xiao Han nodded slightly. In this war, although we have expelled and eliminated the demon race and saved the plane. However, the plane is also in a state of desolation and has suffered a lot of damage. Now, True Chi Realm cultivators, please go everywhere, comfort the people, and encourage everyone to rebuild their homes. Many damaged areas should also be rebuilt as soon as possible. Xiao Han paused for a moment, looked at the 12 elders and said with a smile. Elders, I have a few spatial coordinates here. They were told to me by some demon heroes from other planes while I was adventuring in the Genius Zone. How about this? Immediately enter their plane according to the coordinates of this space and ask for some material assistance from them. In return, after 10 years, I will give them a place to enter the second layer of Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's treasure. This time, I have refined a lot of places in my body. Even if there are immortals who want to enter the second layer of Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's treasure with me, there should be extra places. We can share some with the demon heroes from other planes. Yes. Leader Xiao Han, you are really far-sighted. The 12 elders all nodded. I am not a leader, Xiao Han said seriously. However, before I go into seclusion, there are some things that I need to remind everyone. Seclusion? Xiao Han just came out of seclusion. Now he wants to go into seclusion again? Xiao Han's True Chi realm is going to break through again. Is Xiao Han going to go into seclusion to break through to the 8th stage of True Chi, the Talisman Formation realm? As soon as they heard that Xiao Han was going to go into seclusion again, the 10 billion people below all whispered to each other in disgust. Sect Master. Xiao Han looked at Wu Yu again. Wu Yu immediately understood what he meant and immediately said with a smile. Xiao Han, don't worry. I have antidotes for all sorts of poisons. Master Yen Lang will refine them as soon as possible. You can go into seclusion with peace of mind. That's good. Xiao Han relaxed and smiled. Then he floated into the Demon Hero Pagoda and found a spirit house. As if there was no one around, he went into seclusion without any distractions. Outside. If I am not wrong, Xiao Han's seclusion this time should be to cultivate the art of refining the demon race. Wu Yu nodded slightly and smiled. There is a secret treasure of the demon race on Xiao Han that can devour and absorb the essence of the demon race. Just now the demon race army was destroyed. The essence of all the demon emperors and demon emperors was devoured by Xiao Han. Xiao Han must need time to digest it. Yes, when junior brother Xiao Han first started his cultivation, his trump card was the demon power and various demon arts. Dongfang Qin suddenly realized. This. Fang Ling was extremely shocked as he screamed out. Such a huge demon race army, led by thousands of demon emperors, is enough to trample any ordinary plane in the mortal world. Now Xiao Han is going to absorb all the essence of this demon race army. Then, to what extent will his demon power soar? With that said, the 10 billion people were so scared that they did not dare to breathe. I can't make a hasty evaluation yet. However, if Xiao Han absorbs and refines all the soul essences of this demon army and nourishes his left arm, then Xiao Han's demon technique's combat power will not lose to his life talismans. In this way, Xiao Han will have the ultimate killing skills of both the human race and the demon race. He will definitely become a peerless figure. Not only will such a person not be found in the mortal world, but it is also impossible for the immortal world to have a dual cultivator of the human race and the demon race. Wu Yu looked at the Yaoxiao Pagoda and smiled. In short, no matter what Xiao Han cultivates, as long as his battle power increases, our plane will become safer and more prosperous. It is always a good thing for our plane. Everyone disperse. Don't disturb Xiao Han. Now, everyone gradually understood that Xiao Han's seclusion this time was to cultivate the demon race's secret arts. Everyone was extremely shocked and curious at the same time. They did not know what would happen after Xiao Han came out of seclusion. However, it was very strange. Although they knew that Xiao Han cultivated the demon arts, none of the humans felt repulsed. They all felt that no matter what Xiao Han cultivated, it was reasonable. All of them should trust him completely. Soon, the human clan gathered in the Yaoxia region dispersed to do their own things and do their best to restore the plane. Xiu, 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 in the sky. Wu Yu led Dongfang Qin, Fang Ling, and other people of the Pure Rain sect back to the Pure Rain mountain range. Sect Master, I don't know how strong Junior Han's battle power will be once he comes out of seclusion after merging with the essence of the demon army. Since ancient times, there has never been a person who can be compared with Junior Han. To be able to master the essence of the two races, this is actually 1,000 years of strange things, Dong Fangqin said. Wu Yu looked in the direction of the distant Pure Rain Mountain range. Let Xiao Han cultivate freely. Whether it's the demon arts or the true Qi divine technique, as long as it can improve his battle power, there is no harm. 10 years later, there will be many immortals participating in the second layer of the Ju Dao Immortal Emperor's treasure. If Xiao Han does not improve his battle power crazily during this period of time, I'm afraid he will suffer a great loss when he fights with the immortals. Yes, with Junior Han's current battle power, he is completely invincible in the mortal world. No Tower Master is Junior Han's opponent. But once an immortal descends, I'm afraid Junior Han will be in trouble. Seriously speaking, with Junior Han's current battle power, I'm afraid he won't be able to deal with even the most ordinary immortal. Moreover, in a few years, the immortals that descend to the various planes will definitely not be mediocre. They must be extremely talented and powerful immortals. Xiao Han must improve his battle power by any means necessary. I don't want to see Xiao Han being trampled by the immortals. Chapter 551. Demon Hero Region. Demon Hero Pagoda. In a mental secret chamber, Xiao Han went into seclusion again and began to cultivate. He sat cross-legged. Xiao Han's seclusion this time was different from the previous seclusion. Seriously speaking, it was completely different. Previously, Xiao Han cultivated true Qi. The true acupoints all over his body lit up and burst forth with a holy light that shone through the ages. His body was surrounded by layers of colorful lights and auspicious clouds. The overflowing true Qi made people feel like they were bathing in the spring breeze. Bathed in this light, one could feel warmth, justice, peace and greatness. But at this moment, Xiao Han's body was full of demonic aura. The evil demonic aura constantly swept and rolled, bursting forth with the howls of evil ghosts and souls, bursting forth with the heart-wrenching sound of tens of thousands of demons crying and wailing. In the secret chamber, the evil demonic illusion of the demon realm kept appearing. All kinds of demon realm plants kept growing. If an ordinary person was in such an environment filled with demonic aura, their mind would definitely collapse, their soul would be contaminated and corroded, and they would either go crazy or die. Xiao Han, on the other hand, was enjoying himself. The demon the arch left arm palm greedily devoured the demonic aura energy. The entire demon race army of thousands of demon thearchs, countless demon emperors, their corpses, and soul essences were all absorbed by my demon the arch left arm palm. Now, I'm refining these resources bit by bit to nourish and strengthen my demon the arch left arm palm. Originally, my left arm demon monarch's palm couldn't refine such a huge amount of resources due to its quality. It would take a long time for my left arm demon monarch's palm to refine a slightly powerful demon monarch's corpse. But now, the left arm demon monarch's palm seems to have been modified by the demon god's will. Xiao Han also had many doubts. He slowly raised his left arm. At this moment, the tattoo on the left arm of the demon monarch seemed to have formed an evil and self-contained demon clan's plane. It was filled with the corpses, consciousness, and soul fragments of the powerful and evil demon clan. If any of these fragments were to reach the human realm, it would cause an apocalypse with unimaginable consequences. Right now, the tattoo on the left arm of the demon monarch was frantically refining the resources and energy, causing the quality of the left arm of the demon monarch to rise and evolve continuously. The speed at which the demonic monarch left arm refines the corpses and souls of the demonic race is more than 10,000 times faster than before. Furthermore, the capacity of this left monarch beast's palm has increased by more than 10,000 times. For example, this left demon emperor's palm used to be like a skinny man who could only eat 3 bowls of rice in one meal. But now, it has become a huge monster, a giant, a monster that can eat hundreds, thousands and tens of thousands of tons of food in one meal. If it was in the past, I wouldn't have been able to refine such a huge amount of demon race energy. Once it surged into the demonic the arch left arm palm, it would definitely explode. Moreover, the most abnormal thing is that when the demonic the arch left arm palm absorbs and refines the demonic clan's energy, there are no restrictions and there are no bottlenecks. When it breaks through, it seems to have no upper limit. Before this, Xiao Han's demonic the arch left arm palm seemed to be affected by genes. Therefore, it had to constantly mutate and improve its quality in order to absorb the demon race's energy and awaken the demonic meridians. Sometimes, when awakening the demonic meridians, there would be restrictions. It had to find an opportunity to break through the shackles and open the demonic meridians. At this moment, the demonic the arch left arm palm no longer had any shackles. It was like a bottomless abyss. No matter how huge the demon race's energy was, it could be absorbed together. It would absorb everything. Without a doubt, Xiaohan's demonic the arch left arm palm had been transformed. It had undergone a complete transformation. It had been turned upside down. It was reborn. Now, it was as if the interior of the demonic the arch palm had formed a small world with stable order. It was extremely sturdy, and there was even a thick dark red space crystal wall. Moreover, it seemed to be able to communicate with the demon realm beyond the 9 heavens. In the interior of the demonic the arch palm, countless demonic meridians shuttled back and forth like destructive demonic dragons. There were also many fallen angels with blood-red wings singing, sprinkling down the glory and light of the demon god. The singing and faith of the ancient demon race lingered. The densely packed demon race's energy fragments dissipated like snowflakes under the terrifying demonic aura of the demonic the arch palm. They merged into each demonic meridian and became nourishment, causing the demonic meridians to continuously awaken. Tens of thousands of demonic meridians awakened at the same time, and the capacity of each demonic meridian was expanding. At the same time, the demon emperor crystals that had been shattered into powder were perfectly repaired. They were like the most beautiful gems in the world, and they were embedded into the grooves of the demonic the arch palm. The essence of the demonic mystic arts flowed into Xiaohan's sea of consciousness like a gentle mountain spring, imprinting on Xiaohan's mental energy star so that Xiaohan could master these mystic arts. Even the demonic the arch mystic arts inheritance lingered in Xiaohan's soul. Moreover, before this, whenever Xiaohan's demonic the arch palm was exhausted, he had to kill demons to absorb their energy or absorb the heavenly desolate demon fruit to replenish the lost demonic force. But now the demonic the arch palm had formed a world of its own, and demonic aura circulated in it. Even if the demonic force was exhausted, it could replenish itself. Oh my god. Now the demonic the arch palm has exceeded the scope of a demonic the arch. It has evolved into an evil creature that is superior to any demonic the arch. Xiaohan saw that his entire left arm was shining brightly, emitting streams of high-level demonic chi natal energy. The origin energy was definitely more powerful than any of the powerful demonic thearchs from the alternate dimensions that Xiaohan had killed earlier. All of a sudden, the wind and clouds on Xiaohan's left arm rose again, and a change occurred. On his left arm, densely packed reverse scales grew out. These reverse scales were extremely ancient, sharp, and engraved with exquisite and demonic mysterious patterns. Billowing thoughts were transmitted from them. They shone with a demonic luster. The sharpness of each reverse scale could cut through the sky and tear apart all living things. It was much more terrifying than an immortal artifact flying sword. Soon Xiaohan's left arm was covered with reverse scales. They were densely packed. It was a ghastly sight. Now, not to mention the use of demonic secret techniques, Xiaohan's claws alone could tear everything apart with the sharp reverse scale. For example, although the demonic thearchs that he had killed earlier had strong and impregnable bodies, they would be as fragile as paper under the cutting of the reverse scales. At this moment, Xiaohan finally looked at his heart when he sensed the drastic changes in the demonic the arch palm on his left arm. It's a demon god. A wisp of the demon god's consciousness has modified the demonic the arch palm on his left arm. It has made the demonic the arch palm on his left arm surpass the demonic the arch level. That's right. The demon god was the overlord of the universe. Killing immortals was as easy as drinking water and eating. It was easy for it to modify a demonic the arch palm. It only needed a wisp of its consciousness to complete it. Damn it, the demon god is causing trouble? Xiaohan cursed. Then he gathered his mind power and released a mind wave, which permeated and swept across his left arm. Xiaohan was worried that the demon god would use the opportunity of modifying the demonic the arch palm on his left arm to control his limbs with its supreme will. Fortunately, Xiaohan finally discovered that the wisp of the demon god's consciousness only nourished and evolved the demonic the arch palm on his left arm. Apart from that, there was nothing else. Xiaohan was much more at ease now. Forget it. I can't resist the demon god's will. It wants to modify my demonic the arch palm on my left arm, so I'll let it do as it pleases. All in all, it's good to be able to increase my combat strength. After all, immortals will descend in a few years to look for me. Immortals are arrogant. They won't be polite to me, right? Therefore, with this evolved demonic the arch arm, I have more means to protect myself. Xiaohan threw all his worries to the back of his mind and focused on observing the changes in the demonic the arch palm. During his previous trip to the demon metropolis, Xiao Han had killed many demon emperors, including many mutated demon emperors and ultimate mutated demon emperors. As a result, the arch palm on his left arm had mutated a few times and benefited a lot. When he left the demon metropolis, the arch palm on his left arm had awakened 600,000 demonic meridians. The capacity of each demonic meridian was 150 times that of ordinary demon emperors. It had 9 billion cauldrons of pure demonic power. At that time, the 9 billion cauldrons of power was enough for Xiao Han to defeat ordinary powerhouses in the demonic hero pagoda. He could even rely on demonic techniques to fight against the powerhouses of the ancient era. However, after reaching the genius zone, even if the arch palm was not suppressed, the mere 9 billion cauldrons of power would not be of much use. For example, Xiao Han's demonic power and demonic technique would not be able to fight against the likes of Li Xiaotian, who had trillions of cauldrons of power. After improving his flesh shell, mental strength, saber intent, and true chi realm, Xiao Han originally thought that his arch palm had become useless and would no longer be able to help him kill his enemies. However, the situation had been reversed. Awakened. 700,000 demonic meridians. 800,000 demonic meridians. 900,000 demonic meridians. The capacity of the demonic meridians increased by 200 times. Increased by 300 times. Increased by 400 times. Demonic chi was like smoke. The demonic power was soaring. The quality of the arch palm on his left arm was getting stronger and stronger. Poof, poof, poof. Many reverse scales grew crazily, and demonic symbols flashed. Moreover, what was even more shocking was that there were tentacles growing on the arch palm. The tentacles were extremely strange and terrifying. They were crimson and soft, like the tentacles of an octopus. These tentacles trembled slightly and burst out with an incomparably evil sneer as if they were alive. However, Xiao Han realized that the tentacles were not living creatures. Instead, they had a close connection with his mental waves. It was as if the evil tentacles were born from his mental waves. Xiao Han closed his eyes slightly. With a thought, the tentacles began to extend and swim in all directions. With another thought, the tentacles began to shrink and retract under the skin of the arch palm. They were like the tentacles of a snail. He could use his mental power to control the tentacles at will. Not only did the tentacles possess strong power, but they were also extremely tough and dense. They even contained a terrifying power that could devour everything like a black hole. It seems very interesting. After understanding that the tentacles were just an extension of his mental power and the arch palm on his left arm, Xiao Han became playful. Poof, 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 poof. The dense tentacles shot out from Xiao Han's left arm arch palm. These tentacles easily penetrated the walls of the Yaoxiao pagoda and penetrated into many secret rooms. Through these tentacles, Xiao Han could very clearly see the female demon hero Elaine, who was in charge of this floor of the spirit house, was in an elegant and clean bathroom. Her smooth skin, her curvaceous body, her protruding peaks, her sunken and serene areas, including the luxuriant grass, were all exposed to the tentacles' scanning range. The other tentacles also saw some demon heroes who were drinking in the lounge. He saw some male and female monsters having sex with each other. They were enjoying themselves and enjoying themselves. They saw some demon heroes who were praying and worshipping Xiao Han. Poof, poof, poof. The dense and thick tentacles shot out of the demon hero pagoda. They swayed in the wind. The demon hero pagoda, which had stood for 10,000 years, was now like a monster full of tentacles. It was incredible. What's that? Some of the demon heroes who were standing in the square outside the demon hero pagoda were scared out of their wits when they saw the countless tentacles that shot out. However, in the next moment, Xiao Han had already retracted his tentacles. Don't panic. It must be Xiao Han. He's cultivating a supreme demonic technique. Everyone, do your own things and don't disturb Xiao Han's cultivation. The demon heroes finally calmed down and bowed deeply to the area where Xiao Han was cultivating in seclusion. Only then did they quietly disperse, not daring to make a fuss. To be continued. Chapter 552. It's not a problem for every tentacle to kill a demonic emperor. Even if I can't strangle him to death, I can at least entangle him and trap him, giving me a chance to attack. Xiao Han played around for a while before retracting all of his tentacles. Moreover, he was discovering more and more of the wonders of these tentacles. Each of the tentacles has a powerful devouring and absorbing power, as well as demonic chi that can pollute true chi. In this way, even if I don't die immediately after being entangled by the tentacles, I will be devoured by the tentacles bit by bit. Amazing, truly amazing. Xiao Han continued his seclusion in the Yaoxia Pagoda's secret mental chamber. 10 days and 10 nights of seclusion. No distractions. In these 10 days of seclusion, Xiao Han had already gained a thorough understanding of the mutated and evolved demon monarch left arm palm. Reverse scale antennae. It was an evil creature born from the left arm of the demon the Arch. As a result, the demonic monarch palm's offensive and destructive power increased explosively. However, the most obvious change was within the demon emperor's palm. The space crystal wall inside the demon emperor's palm grew thicker and thicker, becoming impregnable. It formed a world of its own. High-level demonic chi circulated endlessly, and all kinds of demon world phenomena were born and destroyed. The demon vein was like an evil dragon. Fallen blood angels of the demon realm were born and destroyed one after another. They were constantly splashing the glory of the demon god and strengthening the demon god's blessings. His demon meridians continued to awaken. The capacity of the demonic meridians continued to expand. Demon veins awakened. 5 million demon veins. 6 million demon veins. 7 million demon veins. The demon veins' capacity has expanded by 1,000-fold. Magnified by 1,500 times. It was 1,700 times larger. The demon monarch's palm was going to absorb and refine all the energy essence of the demon race army, awaken as many demon veins as possible, and expand the demon veins' energy. In the end, hideous and terrifying bone spikes protruded from the left arm of the demon emperor. These bone spikes were stained with ancient demon blood. It was a very pure demon bloodline that was many times more noble than the demon bloodline in the mortal world. Deep within that bloodline was the most primal and thick demonic energy that came from the beginning of the eternal universe. There were even some demonic runes flashing on the bone spurs. I can feel a terrifying demonic power flowing through my left arm like a surging river. Xiao Han could not help but raise his left arm. Puff, 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 puff. Under the control of Xiao Han's mind, the scales, spikes, and antennae on his left arm retracted and retracted into the demonic god's palm. This made Xiao Han's left arm look no different from a human's. His skin was translucent like jade and full of vitality. On his left shoulder, there was a beautiful and realistic demonic god's palm tattoo. Xiao Han slowly spread open the 5 fingers on his left hand. Demonic chi swirled around his 5 fingers. Indistinctly, one could hear the roars and anger of the ancient demon race, as well as the hymn to the demon god. With a slight movement of his palm, a demonic ocean, a demonic palace, a demonic plain. Furthermore, with the restoration of countless demon emperor crystals, as well as the refinement of over 1,000 demon monarch inheritances, Xiao Han had grasped thousands, or even tens of thousands of demonic arts and secret arts. Because the demonic god's palm on his left arm had evolved, Xiao Han could use any demonic art or forbidden art as he pleased. My combat strength has reached the peak. Xiao Han casually waved his hand. A thick demonic chi rushed out like a beacon of smoke. Within a breath, it turned into a centipede, spider, poisonous bee, demonic mosquito, demonic insect, psychedelic butterfly. Although these demonic creatures were formed by demonic chi, they were vivid and lifelike. They flew around in this secret mental room, corroding the air and devouring the space. This is merely an ordinary demonic technique sealed in a demonic emperor crystal, the ancient 6 poisons of the demon realm. However, when I use it now, it's enough to easily kill dozens of human tower masters. I know tens of thousands of such demonic techniques as well as many forbidden techniques. I'm already invincible in the human realm. Xiao Han sighed emotionally. All the demonic arts that surged into Xiao Han's sea of consciousness had been integrated by him. I'm about to come out of seclusion? Xiao Han smiled faintly. Just a little bit more. The demonic god's palm on my left arm will absorb all the energy fragments. At that time I'll come out of seclusion and return to the Pure Cloud sect. The Pure Cloud Mountain Range. The Pure Cloud sect. At this time, Jing Yanxue, Lan Shirong, and Princess Mo Hen were leading a large group of Medicine King Valley disciples to do odd jobs behind Yen Lang. They packed up bags of herbs and placed freshly made pills into medicine bottles. Sect leader Wu, the cure for this plains plague is in these pills. Yen Lang twisted his beard and smiled. His face was slightly tired, but his eyes were extremely excited. Master Yen Lang's divine skill in refining medicine, I admire you, sect leader Wu said sincerely. I thank Master Yen Lang on behalf of all the people in the world. These days Master Yen Lang has not slept or rested. He has done his best. It is truly admirable. This merit alone is enough to make up for the mistake of judging the demon hero pagoda. Ah, sect leader Wu is too polite. In fact, the reason why the calamity of the world could be successfully resolved was because of my master Xiaohan. He killed the demon emperor that spread the plague, causing the plague to weaken by a lot, giving me time to refine the antidote. At this time Jing Yanxue said in a low voice. Sect Master Wu, did my man really single-handedly kill countless great demons from other planes? Yes, sect leader Wu said seriously. If not for Xiaohan, this plane would have been destroyed long ago, and all the human race would have perished. Xiaohan saved this plane with his own strength. Hearing sect leader Wu personally confirm it, the three girls were overjoyed. They were overjoyed and their eyes were filled with happiness. When will he come back? After surviving the disaster, the three girls missed Xiaohan very much. They could not wait to see Xiaohan immediately, throw themselves into his arms, and act like a spoiled child. Xiaohan is in seclusion, comprehending demonic techniques. I do not know when he will come out. Sect leader Wu suddenly smiled. However, all of you don't have to worry. After your man emerges from his closed-door cultivation, he'll become a peerless hero that's completely invincible in the mortal world. Unless he is an immortal, no one can defeat him. It's a pity that I can't witness junior brother Xiaohan's peerless style of killing hundreds of powerful demon emperors with one punch. What a pity. Xiao Mingqiu stood at the edge of the cliff, sighing and beating his chest. Fang Ling and Dong Fangqin laughed at the side. Eldest senior brother, look, the great rivers and mountains of our plain have once again recovered their vitality. Everywhere is vast and beautiful, and the common people live in peace and contentment. They sing and dance to celebrate peace, and it's a flourishing age. Fang Ling looked into the distance and spoke emotionally. All of this is thanks to junior brother Xiaohan. Dong Fangqin also sighed. Suddenly Fang Ling changed the topic. However, although it looks like a painting, there are hidden dangers. Junior brother Fang Ling, you mean after a few years, immortals will come to our plane? Xiao Mingqiu immediately frowned. Yes, during the adventure in the Genius Zone, junior brother Xiaohan has become the target of public criticism. Everyone knows that he has a purple immortal key, including the immortals. After a few years, there will be many powerful immortals who will come to our plane to look for Xiaohan. We can't understand the thoughts of these immortals. We don't know how they will treat us mortals. Once the immortals have a dispute with us, it will be 10 times or even 100 times more dangerous than those monster clan emperors. I hope that Xiaohan can make great progress in his seclusion this time. Devil Hero Region. Devil Hero Pagoda. Xiaohan's spiritual secret room. Boom, boom, boom. Finally, the left arm of the demon monarch refined all the energy essence of the entire demon clan army. Not a single drop was left. Perfect. Xiaohan stood up directly. His body was tall, invincible, majestic, and imposing. I've awakened 80 million demonic veins, and the capacity of each demonic vein has expanded to 5,600 times that of an ordinary demonic emperor. This means that when I strike out with my left arm, I'll be able to unleash 40 trillion cauldrons of pure strength. Not bad, my combat strength has skyrocketed and I've improved tremendously. At least the time I spent in seclusion to crazily refine the demonic race's energy was not wasted. After Xiaohan broke through 70 true acupoints and cleansed the true talismans 10 times, the true chi on a natal talisman was only about 20 trillion cauldrons. However, a wave of the demon monarch's palm now had 40 trillion cauldrons of mighty power. The power of the demon monarch's palm was twice as powerful as the natal talisman. Moreover, the demon monarch's palm was also modified by the will of the demon god, causing it to evolve and mutate. Dense reverse scales, bone spikes, and tentacles grew out. Every reverse scale, every bone spur, and every tentacle had a quality that was not inferior to an ordinary offensive immortal artifact. Xiaohan also mastered more than tens of thousands of demon techniques. Among them were some forbidden techniques that were powerful enough to destroy the world. At this moment, Xiaohan casually stood there, and his body was surrounded by demon wind, and his demon light shone brightly, illuminating the world. Every single one of his pores and cells exuded an aura and pressure similar to that of an ancient, terrifying giant. Unknowingly, Xiaohan's temperament became lawless, as if he was above the ages, suppressing the heavens. He had a domineering aura, as if he was the sole ruler of the heavens. Poof poof poof, the densely packed tentacles seemed to be extremely happy, swimming and growing on his left arm. The bone spikes were blood red, and the reverse scale was sharp. Xiao Han's entire left arm was ferocious and terrifying. You can emerge now. Xiao Han smiled in satisfaction. His left arm returned to normal. All of his true qi was boosted by the wondrous cultivation method of the spirit turtle's true qi, covering his left arm. It did not leak out at all. Xiao Han directly came out of seclusion with his hands behind his back. Xiao Han walked out of the mine secret room. He teleported out of the Demon Hero Pagoda. In the square outside the Demon Hero Pagoda. Xiao Han collar chalk sleeve. Xiao Han collar chalk sleeve. Xiao Han collar chalk sleeve. Countless demon heroes knelt down on one knee to Xiao Han. Xiao Han collar chalk sleeve, you've come out of seclusion? A few elders also flew out of the Demon Hero Pagoda and knelt in front of Xiao Han respectfully. There's no need for that, Xiao Han said with a faint smile. I have no intention of being the master of this plane. I just don't want to be tied down by the mortal world. With my temperament, I'm not suited to make this collar and sleeve. You can choose one of the 12 elders to be the leader of the chalk sleeves. Xiao Han collar chalk sleeve. You don't want to be chalk sleeve. The elders and the demon heroes all panicked. Don't worry. If the plane encounters any danger, I, Xiao Han, will do my best to save it no matter where I am. I'll leave now. You guys can rebuild the plane properly. Xiao Han's figure had already drifted far away after he finished speaking. He was nowhere to be found. Xiao Han's words came in the wind. In a few years the immortals will come to our plane. I will also return to the sect in advance to make preparations. To be continued. Chapter 553. After Xiao Han finished the mutation of the Demon Emperor's left arm, he returned to the Pure Mountain Range without stopping. He didn't stay in the Wuxia region for long. After experiencing such a huge change, Xiao Han's heart was a little touched. Now he was eager to return home. He wanted to reunite with his wives and tell them about their parting so that they could have a good time together. Whoosh, a gorgeous demonic light flashed across the sky, leaving a beautiful arc in the air. In less than a breath, Xiao Han accurately used illusory movement and flashed from the Wuxia region to the Pure Mountain Range, his true inheritance mountain peak. With Xiao Han's demon power, the effect of using illusory movement was almost the same as teleportation. If Xiao Han used his full strength, he could flash from the extreme west to the extreme east in less than a breath. On the true inheritance mountain peak of Xiao Han, the medicine field was crisscrossed with a strange fragrance. Colorful butterflies fluttered and bees danced. Many beautiful maidservants were working in the medicine field with tools such as medicine hoes in their hands. Sometimes they would stop and chat with laughter. Sometimes they would talk about some intimate things. Among them, several of Princess Mo Hen's personal maids were gathered together, whispering and chatting with a smile. Mo Zhu, do you think the son-in-law will visit us in the future? After all, we have been with the princess since we were young. Our royal family also has a rule. When the princess gets married, we as maidservants will also marry. We hope that the son-in-law will visit us one day. I will also marry him. I hope that young master will one day come to visit us. Even if it's just once, my life will not be in vain. Tiske, what status do we have? How can we expect the son-in-law to visit us? The son-in-law is now the leader of this plane, and he will become an immortal in the future. Alas, how can we be worthy of the son-in-law? Ha ha. You girls, do you want to seduce the son-in-law? Outside the huts on the other side of the medicine field, Jing Yanxue, Lan Shirong, and Princess Mo Hen were holding medical books and reading. At this moment, buzz, the space in front of them fluctuated, and Xiao Han was already standing in front of them with a smile. Ah! The three women were so shocked that they dropped the medical books in their hands onto the ground. Then, their beautiful eyes widened as they stared straight at Xiao Han. There were thousands of words in their hearts, but they couldn't say a single word. 3 wives, I'm back. He. Xiao Han smiled and then opened his arms. Come, give me one each. For a moment, the 3 women forgot themselves. Their passionate tears silently rolled down their cheeks. However, they didn't care about it and directly threw themselves into Xiao Han's embrace. It was as if they couldn't wait for Xiao Han to melt them. They didn't hesitate at all. The Great Hall of Ascension. There's a faint demonic aura descending upon our sect. Xiao Han has returned. Wu exclaimed. Xiao Han's true inheritance mountain peak. At this moment Wu Hao, Xiao Mingqiu, Fang Ling, Dongfang Qin, Yen Lang as well as Ah Chou and the rest who had just returned from their training outside, a dense group of true disciples surrounded Xiao Han like stars surrounding the moon. Cheers and laughter. Everyone talked to their heart's content. Brother? This is a lady that I got to know during my training. She has already become my wife. Ah Chou was extremely bashful as he introduced a beautiful and delicate female of the true Qi realm to Xiao Han. Ah, Senior Ah Chou, you have a good eye. Xiao Han patted Ah Chou's shoulder with great force. A strong friendship spread in all directions. However, you have to work harder. Look at me, I have 3 wives and you only have 1. Haha. At this moment, Dongfang Qin scuttled over from the side and pulled Xiao Han's sleeve. He smiled wretchedly and said in a low voice, Junior brother, it's not just 3, it's 4, huh? Xiao Han was startled. Look. Dongfang Qin pointed. Under a hawthorn tree at the edge of the cliff, there was a lady with smooth skin and her entire body was bathed in a graceful and luxurious true qi. Her beauty was unparalleled. She smiled charmingly at Xiao Han and gently stroked her hair. Who else could it be other than Mo Qingtong? In an instant, various scenes of him and Mo Qingtong in the hex trial flashed in Xiao Han's mind. Xiao Han looked at Mo Qingtong and could not help but be a little dazed. Mo Qingtong laughed involuntarily and then gracefully walked towards Xiao Han. We, the people of the Jianghu, don't bother about trifles. Mo Qingtong directly held Xiao Han's arm as if she was afraid that Xiao Han would run away. 3 sisters, in the future I will be the eldest and you will be the youngest. If anyone bullies you, just say my name. Xiao Han, do you have any objections? Xiao Han was dumbfounded. What? Xiao Han, at that time you and I. Now you want to go back on your words? Didn't we agree to be each other's angels? We swore to the stars and moon. Mo Qingtong looked at Xiao Han with grievance. The happiness that I, Mo Qingtong, want must be firmly grasped. Xiao Han, don't even think of escaping in this life. In the distance, Heaven's devil old man's eyes were filled with tears. Brother Wu, my most beloved disciple has been given to your Xiao Han. In the future your pure rain sect must treat Qingtong well. This child has been lonely and pitiful since childhood. She is a poor person. Heavenly devil old man, why do I feel that it is Qingtong who wants to forcibly occupy my Xiao Han? Wu was speechless. At night, the sky was full of stars. On the true inheritance mountain peak of Xiao Han, piles of bonfires were lit. Many beautiful female disciples danced cheerfully and enthusiastically in front of the bonfires. Delicacies and good wine were endless. The Pure Rain sect was celebrating. Many disciples drank themselves to the point of being dead drunk. Xiao Han, you must have gained a lot from your seclusion this time, right? Wu said with a smile. Xiao Han also smiled. I guess I can't find an opponent in the ordinary world. However, I don't know if I can protect myself when the immortals descend in a few years. Yes, Wu nodded. Xiao Han, there are at least a few years before the immortals descend. What have you done in these few years? Now, almost all the demon clan in our plane has been annihilated, and it has become a paradise for the human clan. This disciple's cultivation would never be able to progress in this plane, or even in the countless ordinary planes of the mortal world. In these few years I want to have a good tour. Relax my mind. Spend some time with Yan Xue and the others. Xiao Han looked at his wives. Yes, now, in these few days we, the demon heroes, have been going everywhere to kill the remnants of the demon clan, and almost all the demon clan in this plane have been killed. The plane is peaceful. Xiao Han, you should rest well. Wu drank a mouthful of wine, his eyes deep in thought. When I was a child I saw my uncle's family have their brains sucked dry by the demon clan, and they died tragically in the manner. At that time I made a vow that in this life, I must do my best to exterminate the demon clan. After so many years, although this vow was not fulfilled by me, but, in any case, it was the disciples of my Pure Rain sect who accomplished this great cause. With that, Wu poured a cup of wine and silently prayed. All the demon hero brothers who sacrificed themselves, Wu offers you a cup. I hope that you will know in the afterlife that the plane is peaceful today. Late at night, Xiao Han and Mo Qingtong, Princess Mo Hen, Jing Yanxue, and Lan Shirong were in the same room. Xiao Han had been holding it in for a long time. At this time he was very impatient. Unable to control himself, he directly tore Jing Yanxue, Lan Shirong, and Princess Mo Hen's light robes. Mo Qingtong watched from the side, her face red and her breathing rapid. Although she did not bother with trifles, she was still a virgin and had not been inhumane. Xiao Han might as well go all the way. He also pulled Mo Qingtong over and stripped her in 2 or 3 moves. This night they were entangled to death. The 4 women did their best to please him. In the following period of time, Xiao Han lived a peaceful and secluded life in the untainted mountain range. Fishing, admiring flowers, playing in the water, taking beauties on an outing, carefree and leisurely, Xiao Han lived a contented life that only admired mandarin ducks and not immortals. Although the creatures of the plain all knew that Xiao Han had already returned to the untainted mountain range, but no one dared to disturb him. However, in the mundane plains, many temples were built to worship Xiao Han. The incense was endless and it was extremely prosperous. Occasionally Xiao Han would also sit on a boulder at the highest peak of the untainted mountain range. His gaze would look into the distance, and his spiritual fluctuations would also spread out wantonly. Now Xiao Han's spiritual fluctuations were unreasonably strong, and it was not a problem for him to cover the entire plain. It's been so many years, Yunrong, where exactly are you? Xiao Han's eyes revealed a strong longing. Yunrong, in order to save me, you did not hesitate to harm yourself and took a highly toxic medicine. According to the calculation of time, the period of time since the poison took effect has long passed. Could it be that Yunrong, in the depths of Xiao Han's eye sockets, there was a trace of worry, but more than that, there was doubt. Xiao Han muttered to himself, no. With my current spiritual strength in the secular world, I am invincible. Even some low-level immortals, in terms of pure spiritual strength, I am afraid that they are no match for me. When spiritual strength is strong to a certain level, there will be a kind of faint sixth sense. Now I have a premonition. Yunrong, it seems that she did not die from the poison. And, in such a large plain, there is not a trace of Yunrong's aura left. Could it be that Yunrong is no longer in this plain? Xiao Han used his spiritual fluctuations to cover the entire plain and searched carefully, but actually did not find a trace of Xiao Yunrong's aura. After all, Xiao Han and Xiao Yunrong had spent a lot of time together. Before the two of them parted, Xiao Yunrong had even secretly kissed Xiao Han. It could be said to be unforgettable. Therefore, Xiao Han was absolutely not unfamiliar with Xiao Yunrong's aura. Even if Xiao Yunrong had passed away, her aura should have lingered for a long time before dissipating completely. But in this plain, Xiao Han did not find any trace of Xiao Yunrong's aura. Moreover, the mysterious sixth sense seemed to be telling Xiao Han that Xiao Yunrong had long since left this plain. Forget it, I am already powerless to find Yunrong in this plain. I hope Yunrong is still alive. In the future, when my cultivation base is strong again, I will definitely go to other plains to find Yunrong. In this life I must find Yunrong. Chapter 554. 3 years. In the blink of an eye, 3 years had passed. 3 years had passed in the blink of an eye. 3 years had passed since Xiao Han returned to the Purity Mountain Range from the Devil Hero region and lived a happy and contented life. In these 3 years, Xiao Han had enjoyed all the blessings in the world. In addition to bringing his wives on a leisurely tour of the ethereal mountain range, Xiao Han and his wives also disguised themselves and went to various places in the 4 regions and the great wilderness to experience the local customs. Their footprints were all over the plain. In these 3 years, there were no disasters in the plain. The country was prosperous and the people lived in peace. It seemed that the luck of the plain was prosperous. The development of the plain was flourishing, becoming more and more exuberant. It was like a drop of water falling into a pot of oil, sizzling and boiling. Moreover, with the help of other high-level plains, Xiao Han's plain was now filled with dazzling buildings. Many important cities had roads paved with gold bricks and horses made of white jade. Flowers were everywhere. In just a short span of 3 years, the plain's development had improved many times compared to before. Moreover, Yen Lang finally broke down and refined the immortal elixir that Xiao Han brought back from the genius zone into countless divine medicines. This was even more amazing. Yen Lang was indeed a genius, a god-level alchemist. He broke down and refined the immortal elixir that was not suitable for mortals into divine medicines that were most suitable for mortals. Although this kind of divine medicine had different attributes, it could be effectively absorbed by mortals, breaking the shackles of life and improving the level of life, so that when mortals cultivated true qi, they would be irresistible and no longer have any bottlenecks. Countless divine medicines were distributed like flowing water. First of all, the disciples of the Pure Cloud sect, according to their seniority, received different amounts of divine medicine. Then, in the hero region, the talented and righteous heroes also received divine medicine. Finally, in the secular sects and empires, some of the selected martial artists also received divine medicine. The 4th year. Wu Fu finally broke through and advanced to the 10th level of true qi. He opened 101 acupoints in his body, opened the heavenly eye, and cultivated into a half-immortal body. In addition, the faint immortal aura in the divine medicine nourished his body, making his half-immortal body extremely strong, flowing with a sage-like aura. Xiao Mingqiu opened the heavenly eye, half-immortal body. Dong Fangqin opened the heavenly eye, half-immortal body. Fang Ling opened his heavenly eye, half-immortal body. Yen Lang and Mo Qingtong opened their heavenly eyes and became half-immortals. Acho True Qi Level 9 True Treasure Realm. Princess Mo Hen, Jing Yanxue, and Lan Shirong had all reached Level 9 True Treasure. Apart from these people, all of the true disciples of the Pure Rain sect had reached Level 10 True Qi. Xiao Qin had opened all 100 true acupoints. However, he had yet to open the 101st true acupoint to open the heavenly eye and condense the half-immortal body. The inner sect disciples, outer sect disciples, and inner sect disciples of the Pure Rain sect had all entered the True Qi realm. Even those disciples who had poor aptitude and could only remain at the fleshly body realm for the rest of their lives, after obtaining 1 or 2 godly medicines, would break through the limits of their genes and step into the ranks of Level 1 or Level 2 Jinqi realm, soaring to the heavens in one go. Right now, the massive Pure Rain sect had hundreds of thousands of disciples and all of them were at the True Qi realm. Not a single one of them was at the physical body realm. The lineup was so strong that it left one dumbfounded. Even the founder of the Pure Cloud sect, Wu Hongyi, had never dreamed that the Pure Cloud sect would be as prosperous as it was today. Back to the Yaoxia region. The changes in the Devil Hero region were even more shocking. Apart from Yan Qi who had already disappeared, the 12 elders and the surviving ancient giants had all opened 101 true acupoints, opened the heavenly eye, and condensed the half-immortal body. Apart from them, all the ancient giants and some devil heroes whose strength was close to the ancient giants had also cultivated to the peak of level 10 true qi, opened the heavenly eye, and condensed the half-immortal body. In just a few years, this plane had given birth to thousands of half-immortals. In other words, this plane had thousands of pagoda masters. A plane with thousands of pagoda masters was already the symbol of a high-level plane. Xiaohan's plane had originally been extremely weak. After countless years, only one pagoda master had been born. When he went outside he was bullied and oppressed everywhere. But now there were thousands of pagoda masters, and a large portion of them could completely defeat the previous pagoda masters. As a result, the plane had gone from weak to strong, completing a complete transformation. Moreover, the current Xiaohan's plane was filled with auspicious clouds and auspicious qi, immortal qi and true qi. The entire plane showed a jade-like luster with traces of heaven on earth. In this plane, the quality of the fruits and rice grown were extremely high, close to the immortal fruit. Immortal rice nourished mortals, making them stronger and prolonging their lives. Now, this plane would definitely be ranked among the top of the ordinary planes in the entire universe. In addition, this plane had Xiaohan, so it was almost impossible for any other ordinary plane to surpass this plane. Invincible in the plane. *** mountain range. *** sect. Xiaohan's true inheritance mountain peak. At this time in Xiaohan's true inheritance mountain peak, a large group of people gathered outside Xiaohan's living room. Xiaohan paced back and forth outside the house, anxious and battered. Wu Yu, Heavenly Devil Old Man, Xiao Mingqiu, Luo Tianyu, Shengguan Wudi, and the others were also accompanying Xiaohan. Xiaohan, don't worry, Qingtong will definitely give birth smoothly, Wu Yu kept saying. Calm down, calm down. At this moment Mo Qingtong's loud cry sounded in the house. Xiaohan, I don't want to give birth. It hurts. Ah. Xiaohan stomped his feet heavily. Qingtong, you must hold on. It turned out that today was the day of Mo Qingtong's labor. In the past few years, Xiaohan and his wives had always been more careful, taking various measures to prevent his wives from becoming pregnant with his own flesh and blood. After all, there were only a few years before the opening of the second stage of Judao Immortal Emperor's Treasure. At that time, Xiaohan would enter and compete with many immortals. Besides, there had always been a hidden danger in Xiaohan's heart. As long as the demon god soul was not eliminated, Xiaohan would not be able to live in peace. How could he dare to be a burden? However, even so, Mo Qingtong was still pregnant. Master, please be at ease, this old servant personally refined the abortion medicine for mistress. Nothing can go wrong. Yan Lang also said nervously. Moreover, this old servant has taken mistress' pulse, it's a young master. Ah. In the house, Mo Ching Tong suddenly let out a long cry. Then, wah wah wah, a child's loud cry rang out. Suddenly outside the house it was quiet. Xiao Han, Wu Li, the heavenly devil old man Xiao Mingchu, and all the other true disciples of the Cloud sect were all silent. Xiao, 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 xiao. Then rays of holy light shot up from the house, filling the sky with auspicious clouds, immortal cranes, immortal apes, and all kinds of strange phenomena. It was a spectacular sight. A strange phenomenon from the heavens. This child's talent is extraordinary. Wu Li said excitedly, trembling. Boy or girl? Xiao Han roared. Congratulations, young hero Xiao Han, Lady Qing Tong has given birth to a young master for you. An old woman's excited voice rang out in the house. Jing Yanxue, Princess Mo Hen, and Lan Shirong rushed out of the house, their faces full of excitement and tears. Ah! I'm also a father. Xiao Han couldn't help but cry. That night, Xiao Han was holding a cute baby boy with crystal clear skin, a faint holy light lingering in his pores and big black eyes that kept rolling. Junior brother Xiao Han, your son is 80% like you and 20% like Qing Tong. Xiao Mingchu said anxiously. Come, junior brother, give me a hug. Eldest senior brother, it's not your turn yet, right? Dongfang Qin took the baby boy from Xiao Han's arms and teased him with a smile on his face. Xiao Han, this child has inherited your invincible talent and genes. He will definitely become a great person in the future. Give him a name. Wu Li looked at the baby boy in Dongfang Qin's arms with a loving expression. Xiao Han thought for a moment, then said. Although the plane seems to be peaceful, there are undercurrents surging. Based on the time, the immortals will descend to our plane soon. I only hope that my son can live a peaceful and happy life. Let's call him Xiaoan. Xiaoan? Wu Li nodded. Good name. As a father for the first time, Xiao Han also began a busy and happy life, raising Xiaoan with his 4 wives. Moreover, Xiaoan became the darling of the Pure Cloud sect when he was born. Hundreds of thousands of disciples in the Pure Cloud sect all regarded Xiaoan as their treasure. Yen Lang even specially refined some top-grade sacred medicine and medicinal baths for Xiaoan to take and bathe in every day. Xiaoan grew up in such an environment and inherited Xiao Han's excellent genes. He would definitely become a great person in the future. In the future he would definitely be a legend. One night, Xiao Han lay on the spacious soft couch, holding Xiaoan in his arms, playing with him. Princess Mo Hen was massaging Xiao Han's feet, Jing Yanxue was gently massaging Xiao Han's shoulders, and Lan Shirong was snuggling up to Xiao Han's body. At this time Xiao Han handed Xiaoan to Mo Ching Tong to breastfeed. Mo Ching Tong carried Xiaoan over and suddenly said softly, Xiao Han, why are you always depressed recently? Did we make you unhappy? Ha! Xiao Han looked at Mo Ching Tong. At this time Mo Ching Tong had a faint red mark between her eyebrows. Although she had given birth, her charm was even better than before. She had the charm of a young woman, and her tower master level cultivation made her a goddess in the eyes of any man. Xiao Han's heart surged with a tender affection, and he shook his head slightly. It's not because of you, but the day of the immortals' arrival is getting closer and closer. Since I have Xiaoan, I naturally have more and more concerns. Xiao Han, are you worried that the immortals will make things difficult for our son? If anyone dares to touch my Xiaoan, even if it's an immortal, I won't be afraid. Mo Ching Tong said coldly with a sense of protectiveness. Of course, if the immortals dare to touch our family, I will kill them. Xiao Han said sternly. At night. The night sky was clear. It was like the most beautiful gem in the world, spotless and breathtakingly beautiful. The East region's most prosperous empire, Sunyao Empire. Sunyao Empire's imperial city. Imperial palace. Imperial garden. The emperor of Sunyao Empire was in the imperial garden of the imperial palace, inviting his trusted officials to a banquet. They were enjoying the moon and discussing state affairs. Haha, your majesty, ever since Xiao Han and Xia Xiu led us to wipe out the demon clan in this plane, the air in our plane has become extremely pure and sweet. There's no longer the smell of the demon clan. It's a scene of prosperity. Yes, that battle back then was truly an unprecedented battle. Xiao Han killed the entire demon clan army by himself. The immortals descended to earth. Even the immortals in heaven are no better than this. The emperor of Sunyao Empire also nodded repeatedly. At this moment, boom, 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 boom. The originally clear night sky was suddenly filled with thunder and lightning without any warning. Then, a violent gale and heavy rain descended. Boom, a colorful vortex bloomed directly over the imperial city of the Sun Glory Empire. And then, whoosh, a meteor flashed by. However, the thunder, the storm, the five-colored vortex, and the meteor all flashed by within a few breaths. After a few breaths, the thunder stopped abruptly, the wind dispersed, and the rain disappeared. The night sky returned to normal as if nothing had happened. Ah, my dear officials, what's going on? The emperor stood up in horror and scanned the surroundings with his true chi, but found nothing unusual. It's strange. The thunder and the storm came quickly and left even faster. Your Majesty, it seems that a meteor fell into our imperial city? A graceful young woman smiled gently. Ah, Your Majesty, I'm afraid you saw wrong. How could there be a meteor in the storm? The officials all laughed in a relaxed manner. Sun Yao Empire's imperial city. A young man in white walked on a street of the imperial city with his hands clasped behind his back. He seemed to be very curious about the imperial city and looked around. His eyes were like gems, starry sky, and moonlit night. This is the plane of mortals? Although the air doesn't have the charm of immortals, this plane is quite prosperous. It should be right. This is the coordinates of this space. It can't be wrong. You Yangzi have finally reached the mortal world and walked around? Right, I'm looking for a mortal called Xiao Han. He has many places to enter the second floor of immortal Emperor Ju Dao's treasure. Chapter 555. The young man in white seemed to be interested in everything that happened in the imperial city of the Sun Glorious Empire. He ran to the bustling night market and looked around. Then he saw a stall selling candied haws. His eyes lit up and he rushed over. The young man in white grabbed a candied haw and sniffed it. Then he put it in his mouth. After chewing for a while, he praised the stall and turned to leave. Sir, you haven't paid the bill yet, the young woman said anxiously. The young man in white paused, scratched his ears and said in a low voice. That's right, the elders in the sect told me some things about the mundane world. It seems like we have to use currency to buy things like clothing, food, housing, and transportation. It's not like the immortal world where we trade for things. However, I don't have the currency of the mundane world. With that said, the young man in white took off a jade pendant from his waist and handed it to the young woman who was selling candied fruits. He chuckled. I won't take advantage of you. Here, this is a jade pendant carved from top-grade warm jade from the celestial realm. It's enough to buy a lot of candied haws. Celestial realm warm jade? The young woman took the jade pendant with a puzzled expression. Well, this celestial realm is the name of my hometown. It's just a small town, not as prosperous as here. The young man quickly changed his words and turned to leave. This jade is so exquisite. The young woman was stunned as she held the jade pendant in her hand. The white-clothed young man wandered in the luxurious night of the glorious Sun Empire, enjoying the moving and graceful scenery to his heart's content. This time, our sect master and the elders worked hard to open the space-time channel between the celestial realm and the mortal world, allowing me to teleport down. However, because the spatial barrier of the mortal realm is too weak and unstable, senior brothers and sisters with stronger celestial physiques and celestial force are unable to teleport down. Otherwise, the aura on their bodies would be enough to shatter this mortal realm. As for me, with my celestial physique and celestial force, I can just barely descend to the mortal realm. I'm one of the most talented disciples among the younger generation in the Flying Yang sect. Many elders encouraged me and thought that I might be able to condense a high-grade immortal physique in the future, or even become an immortal emperor. But I'm still far from that. But I won't disappoint the elders and the sect master. This time, exploring the second level of immortal Emperor Ju Dao's treasure is a great opportunity for me. Yu Yangzi will definitely not lose to the young talents of the other sects in the immortal world. So, this white-robed youth was actually someone who had descended from the immortal world. It was a young immortal. Finally. An immortal had finally descended from Xiao Han's plane. Yes. Our Flying Yang sect managed to obtain a spot with great difficulty. Yu Yangzi was fortunate enough to be chosen by the sect leader and the various elders. Sect leader and Elder Chalk had expended so much celestial force to open this spacetime wormhole and allow me to descend. I carry the hope of the entire Fei Yang sect. This time, the outstanding young immortals of the various sects in the immortal world have all descended. The competition is very fierce. Who doesn't want to obtain immortal Emperor Ju Dao's treasure? My Fei Yang sect isn't much of a force in the celestial realm. We've only obtained one spot, and it was obtained with great difficulty by Elder Chalk's connections. However, it said that this spot is slightly better than the other spots. I heard that there's a mortal in this realm called Xiao Han, and the celestial key he obtained is the most valuable celestial key, the purple celestial key. I wonder if this purple celestial key will give me an advantage when I search for treasures. Forget it, I must bring back the celestial treasure for the sect. I want to revitalize the sect. Yu Yangzi must also take this opportunity to embark on the path of an immortal emperor. Yes, I've just arrived. Wait until I'm familiar with the rules of this plane, then I'll find that mortal Xiao Han and ask for a spot to enter the second level of Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's treasure. The white-robed young immortal disappeared into the night sky. Late at night. Deep in the wasteland. Deep in the wasteland that was as silent as a graveyard. This was a continuous mountain range. There were no human countries and there were many ancient beasts in the mountains. Occasionally, there would be a sound of trampling on the ground or a violent roar. It was a ghastly sight to behold. At this moment, boom, rumble, rumble, rumble. Heaven and earth suddenly began to shake violently. A terrifying energy descended from the sky. This was a light beam that was like a raging wave. It fell straight down from the sky like an aurora. The vibration of the space shattered the trees and mountains within 1,000 miles. All the beasts in the mountains were annihilated. The air even turned into a rapid sound wave attack. Sonic booms came from all directions, cutting the space into pieces. In the middle of the sky, a funnel-shaped vortex appeared. A stalwart figure slowly walked out from within. I finally reached the mortal world. This is really interesting. It's really troublesome in the immortal world. No matter what I do, I'm bound by rules and regulations. Those old antiques always talk about immortal rules. I'll be punished at every turn. Damn it, so boring. Now that I've finally obtained a quota to descend to the mortal world, I must have some fun. Anyway, there are still a few years before the date of entering the second level of Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's treasure trove. I can have some fun in this mortal world for a few years. How can I have fun? The beauties of the mortal world. Wealth. Yes, and power. As for that Xiao Han, I'll find some time to meet him. This time, I'll obtain the quota to enter the second round of Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's treasure trove from him. However, don't expect me to be polite to him. Mortals are like dogs. If he doesn't serve me obediently, I'll definitely crush his balls. As he spoke, a giant man with golden skin and immortal light all over his body walked out. His body moved and swept across all directions. On this night, countless people in Xiao Han's plain, whether it was in the east, south, west, or north regions, or in the great wilderness, witnessed the strange phenomenon of meteors falling from the sky. Some people wanted to capture this phenomenon, but there was no trace of it. Of course, many people regarded this meteor phenomenon as a purely natural phenomenon and didn't care about it. However, Devil Hero region. 12 elders floated around the Devil Hero pagoda. In between their eyebrows, the heavenly eye opened, and a beam of light shone in all directions. Coincidentally, meteors fell from the sky not far away. Wung, the heavenly eye of the 12 elders released misty light at the same time and shone on the meteors. In the next moment, the 12 elders vomited blood at the same time. The light in the heavenly eye dimmed down, and even the heavenly eye closed slightly. It's immortal chi. Extremely violent and strong immortal chi. In that meteor there was pure immortal chi. Just now, when we used the heavenly eye to probe, we suffered a backlash. One of the elders said in horror. The other elder, Elder Chalk, gasped. Did people from the immortal world descend upon our plane? Calculating the time, there is still about 56 years before the opening of the second level of Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's treasure. It seems that it is indeed the time for the immortals to descend. Hiss. Countless meteors fell tonight. If each meteor represented the arrival of an immortal, then the number of immortals that descended to our plane should be extremely large. Oh no. With the descent of an immortal, it is hard to predict whether it will be a blessing or a curse. Immediately inform Xiaohan Ling Chaxiao. Inform Xiaohan Ling Chaxiao immediately. This is no small matter. Starry Night Transmission. Purity Mountain Range. Purity Sect. Xiaohan had just finished making love with his wives and was lying on the bed. At this moment, Xiaohan's mind swept slightly. There is actually the smell of immortal chi near my Purity Sect. It is extremely strong and pure. Could it be? Xiaohan suddenly jumped up from the bed. Purity Mountain Range, the main peak. Led by Wu Yu, Xiao Mingchu, Dongfang Qin, Fang Ling, and other core disciples gathered at the main peak. Whoosh, 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 meteors fell from the sky. Auspicious clouds rolled. Sect Master, I'm afraid these meteors aren't that simple. Xiao Mingchu's heavenly eye opened and he frowned. If it is a blessing, it is not a curse. If it is a curse, it cannot be avoided. It seems that the thing that I have been worried about all these years has finally come. Wu Yu's pupils contracted slightly. At this moment, the yin chivalrous token in his arms trembled slightly. He took it out and scanned it with his mind. Then he said, "The elders sent a message. They have already speculated that the immortals have descended. It coincides with our sect. It should be the immortals." Xiao Han's voice rang in the main peak. Under the moonlight, Xiao Han, dressed in plain clothes, approached from afar. Junior brother Xiao Han. Xiao Mingchu and the others looked over. I have already used my mind to scan the entire plane. Now there is real, immortal qi in the east, south, west, north and great wilderness. It is extremely pure immortal qi. It is completely different from the immortal qi that drifts in our plane. I think that from tonight onwards, the immortals above will gradually descend to our plane. Xiao Han raised his eyes and looked at the sky. Not only our plane. Now, all the geniuses who participated in the Genius Zone adventure and obtained the quota to enter the second round of Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's treasure will definitely be visited by the immortals. The world is in chaos? The world is prosperous? Wu was in a trance. It is really difficult for us mortals to understand the heart of the immortals. But there is no doubt that a new chapter has begun. Xiao Han, you have refined a purple immortal key and a blue immortal key. I believe that there will be immortals coming soon. It doesn't matter. I will deal with whatever comes my way. Even if the immortals come, I will deal with them one by one, Xiao Han said resolutely. To be continued. Chapter 556. That night. Xiao Han and the rest were not in the mood to sleep, so they simply stayed at the main peak of the mountain range. Stargazing. And Xiao Han, subconsciously, was also waiting for the immortals to come and find him. After all, Xiao Han had refined 2 immortal keys with him, and had a total of 270 places to enter the second round of the Ju Dao Immortal Emperor's treasure. When an immortal descended to this plane, he would not look for anyone but Xiao Han. I wonder what the immortals are like. Xiao Han could not help but guess. Since I'm already here, let me, Xiao Han, see your true colors. So, Xiao Han waited for the immortals to visit in the mountain range. However, after waiting for 7 days and 7 nights, it was strange that no immortals came to find Xiao Han. This made Xiao Han extremely speechless. Western region. In the 4 regions of the east, south, west and north, the population was the most prosperous. There were as many sects in the empires and kingdoms. However, in comparison, the eastern region was the most prosperous, followed by the southern region, and the northern and western regions were more barren. Especially in the era when the demon race was rampant, the northern and western regions were sometimes tortured, and the people had no way to make a living. Although the plane had achieved the great unification of the human race, the northern and western regions had also been greatly improved. But some regions were still bitter cold. At this moment, in a border city of the western region, people dressed in coarse hemp clothes were busy making a living. At the end of the streets, there were peddlers and servants. Let's go and find a living immortal to treat us. Since 7 days ago, the living immortal came to our Purple Vine City, and opened a clinic that can treat all kinds of diseases. These few days, he has already cured many patients. You know Zhang Denyo, right? Tuberculosis that has accumulated for many years. He has already been cured by the living immortal. I don't have spare money to find a living immortal to treat me. You don't know this, right? The living immortal treats patients for free. Haha, otherwise how can he be called a living immortal? Let's go. In an ordinary house on a street in the city. At this moment, there was already a sea of people outside the house. There was a long queue, waiting for the living immortal to treat them. Inside the house, there was a green-robed youth. Her hair was tied up in a simple bun with a wooden hairpin. She had an oval face and a jade-like face. Stars and clouds flickered in her eyes. He was checking the pulse of a pregnant woman with a big belly. And she's the daughter of a noble family. The young man in green smiled gently. Living immortal, please prescribe some medicine for me to take. The pregnant woman smiled sincerely. Heh! The green-clothed young man faintly smiled and extended his right index finger. He touched the space between the pregnant woman's eyebrows. Then he said, "That's enough." Next. Behind the azure-clothed youth was a young woman dressed in colorful clothes. She had a noble and otherworldly aura, and she called out impatiently. She waited for the pregnant woman to thank her and leave before she muttered her complaints. "Elder brother, why did you come here to treat these mortals?" The elders and the sects spent a lot of effort to open up a space-time wormhole so that we could descend into the mortal world. We should be looking for Xiaohan. What's so fun about this place? Junior sister. Mortals are really suffering. Suffering from all kinds of illnesses. So pitiful. The green-clothed young man reprimanded. Although mortals are not as good as us immortals, they are still living beings born from the world. This time, I descended into the mortal world to accumulate merit. It couldn't be better to treat these mortals. After accumulating a lot of merit, a few years later, when I enter the second layer of Immortal Emperor Judao's treasure, I will be able to gain something. Merit and karma circulate in the world. I'm doing good deeds now, but in the future. Stop. Senior brother, you still haven't changed your bad habit of nagging after coming to the mortal world. What kind of logic is this? Entering the second layer of Immortal Emperor Judao's treasure and treating mortals here are two completely different things. The young woman in colorful clothes said with dissatisfaction. Aya, junior sister, don't make a fuss. There are still a few years before the second round of Immortal Emperor Judao's treasure opens. Isn't it better to play in the mortal world for a few years? The green-clothed young man smiled. Suddenly, the young woman in colorful clothes frowned and said with a serious expression. Senior brother, you can play here, but I have to remind you that we, the White Dragon sect, are sworn enemies. The Dragon Sun sect also has outstanding young immortals who were teleported to this realm. I heard that it's Giant Spirit and Xiong Mozi. Senior brother, we have to be careful. Don't let those two see us. Otherwise, although we're in the mortal world, I'm afraid. Eastern region. Dragon Scale Empire. Back mountain of the Imperial City. The volcano of the Imperial City was crowded with people. A magnificent temple had been built on the mountain. The incense was very abundant. Xiaohan's statue was enshrined in the temple, accepting the worship of the people in the world. At this moment, a green-clothed young man with a sword on his back stood in the middle of the temple. His eyes flashed with a sharp light as he looked at Xiaohan's statue. The corner of his mouth twitched, and his eyes emitted an extremely displeased expression. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Bang! In the next moment, his aura changed greatly. A sharp sword chi rose from his body and soared into the sky. His aura became unparalleled, extraordinary and refined. At this moment he was like a towering heavenly sword, making all the swords in the world submit to him. The worshippers who had been lighting incense in the temple were all sent flying by his aura. They were thrown into disarray one by one. How can mortals accept incense offerings? This is ridiculous. The mortals in the world are so ignorant and stupid. They don't worship immortals but mortals. Xiaohan? What's that? How can he accept the offerings of mortals? Damn it. He's the #1 genius in the genius zone, but he's still an ant in front of us immortals. I, the divine sword prince, must teach this Xiaohan a lesson. Bang! The formless sword chi sliced through the statue of Xiaohan in the temple, turning it into powder. Eastern region. Maple Empire. Imperial City. A bare-chested man who looked like an ancient giant arrived at the Maple Empire's palace. There was a dragon-shaped aura surging from his body, and his aura was domineering. The aura of this bare-chested man. It suppressed the entire palace. Tens of thousands of people were silent. Ah, this is the palace of the secular world? The bare-chested giant walked towards the throne in the golden palace. You are? The emperor and the ministers were so scared that their bodies were numb, and they were trembling like chickens. It's like this. I also want to be the emperor for a few years. You are the emperor of this country? Get out of here. I will replace your position and be the emperor for a few years. I want to experience the joy of power in the secular world. The bare-chested giant finally sat on the throne. Ah, this seat is very fun. It's comfortable. It's really comfortable to sit on. No wonder countless mortals would fight with their lives for this seat. Even if they were as close as father and son, they would still kill each other. Ah, listen, oh no. I'm giving the order now. Immediately spread the word across the country. Choose the most beautiful women. 5,000. No. Choose 10,000 beauties. Go now. Ah. Countless immortals arrived at Xiaohan's plain. However, these immortals did not go to find Xiaohan as soon as they arrived. Instead, Many immortals were playing in the secular world for fun. After all, life in the immortal world was too boring for them. Now that they finally arrived, they could play freely. Moreover, they had a sense of superiority. When they played, they were unscrupulous and did whatever they wanted. Some immortals occupied the throne of the secular world. Some immortals snatched women at will in the secular world for fun. Of course, there were also some immortals who were kind and did good deeds in the secular world. In short, the order of this plane had undergone a drastic change because of the arrival of a large number of immortals. *** mountain range. *** sect. Xiao Han's true inheritance mountain peak. Xiao. Haha. Xiao Han was holding his son and laughing. His wives were also laughing hysterically at the side. After playing for a while, Xiao Han handed Xiao into a mo ching tong. Then Xiao Han and Yen Lang walked to the other side of the mountain peak. Master, we've been waiting for many days, but the immortals still haven't come. The temperament of immortals is really hard to understand. Yen Lang said with some worry. It can't be that they think too highly of themselves and want Master to visit them personally, right? Ha. Xiao Han smiled slightly. In fact, although I'm immortal and my life level is far inferior to immortals, but the problem is, the quota to enter the second level of Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's treasure is firmly in my hands. Yen Lang was slightly stunned. A purple immortal key and a blue immortal key have been refined into my body and become a part of it. Immortals can't snatch them away. Once I die, these two immortal keys will also be annihilated. So, immortals can't kill me. Even if I let them kill me, they won't dare to. Xiao Han seemed to have figured out some key points. Yen Lang, you must know that it's not that easy for immortals to descend. They can't come down just because they want to. I think they need to spend an endless amount of immortal strength to forcefully open a space-time tunnel from the immortal world to our human world. The consumption is huge. With such a huge consumption, they can only teleport down. How can they easily waste this opportunity? If I die, they will be teleported down for nothing. It will be like drawing water with a wicker basket. That's right, Master. Speaking of which, you do have the upper hand. The quota to enter the second level of Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's treasure is in your hands. You can give it to whoever you want. The initiative is completely in your hands. Yen Lang's eyes also brightened. At this moment, he's here. Suddenly, Xiao Han's eyes lit up. After waiting for so many days, an immortal finally came to visit. At the foot of the mountain range, a man dressed in ordinary clothes and barefoot stood in front of the mountain gate of the mountain range. He wore an ordinary long robe. His appearance and temperament were like a scholar in the secular world. His body didn't show any auspicious aura or strange phenomenon. There was a kind of feeling of returning to simplicity. This mountain range is undulating and full of spiritual energy. It's really a place with great talents. No wonder it could nurture an outstanding talent like Xiao Han. The ordinary-looking man faintly smiled and said in a natural and unrestrained manner. To be continued? Chapter 557. This man stood at the foot of the Purity Mountain range, enjoying the beautiful scenery of the mountain and sighing with emotion from time to time. It was obvious that he held the Purity Mountain range in high esteem. At this time, a few disciples guarding the mountain noticed him and immediately flew in front of him. These disciples guarding the mountain were all at the first level of true qi. Ever since Yen Lang refined the divine medicine, all the disciples of the Purity sect had benefited and reached the true qi realm. Using a true qi realm disciple to guard the mountain gate was an extremely extravagant thing. In such a large plain, only the Purity sect could afford such a thing. When these disciples guarding the mountain saw this ordinary man, they immediately felt ashamed of their inferiority. Although this ordinary-looking man's body didn't seem to have any energy fluctuations, it was very strange that when these true qi realm disciples faced him, it was as if they were commoners in the secular world, facing the emperor who sat high on the dragon throne in the throne room. Cramped, bewildered, flustered. May I ask who you are? The disciples guarding the mountain also changed their way of addressing the ordinary-looking man. Furthermore, all of them descended and stood in front of the ordinary-looking man in a well-behaved manner. It was as if they were giving him orders. Even the disciples guarding the mountain are at the true qi realm? This sect is indeed very prosperous. The ordinary man muttered to himself. Then he smiled warmly. Everyone, no need to be so polite. I am Jia Lanzi, and I have come to pay a visit to the genius of your sect, Xiao Han. So you want to see our senior brother Xiao Han? The moment these few disciples who were guarding the mountain heard Jialanzi mention Xiaohan, they naturally felt confident. Their faces also radiated a proud glow. At this time, friend, a guest from afar, please come to my purity sect's main peak for a chat. Xiaohan's voice came from afar, gentle and pleasant. Ah, Brother Xiao is indeed mysterious to actually know of my arrival. Good, very good. Jialanzi's brows relaxed as he laughed heartily. Purity sect. Main peak. Back garden of the purity sect. Xiaohan Wufeng. Xiao Mingchu, Fang Ling, Dongfang Qin, and other leaders of the purity sect met Jialanzi in the back garden filled with flowers. They sat down. Xiaohan's gaze was unwavering as he looked at Jialanzi. He displayed an indifferent expression, neither servile nor overbearing. Even though Jialanzi was an immortal, he was still an immortal. Xiaohan's heart, on the other hand, was filled with the aura of ancient immortals. Moreover, this was not the first time Xiaohan had seen a real immortal. When Xiaohan left the demon capital, he was enlightened by a celestial. That celestial strength was probably far superior to Jialanzi's. As for Wu Hao, Xiao Mingchu and the others, they were unable to maintain their composure. Immortal. Immortal. Your Excellency. Your Excellency is an immortal from the immortal world. Xiao Mingchu asked in shock. Haha, Jialanzi laughed unconcernedly. It's just a descendant from the immortal realm. In the mortal world they were known as immortals, but in the immortal world they were nobody. All living things are equal, so there's no need to be too restrained. Immortals are really powerful. Wu Li sighed. Rumors are not as good as seeing with one's own eyes. Mr. Jialanzi, you've already reached a state where you've returned to your natural state. But when I look into your eyes, I have an illusion. It's as if your eyes can absorb our entire plane. It's too mystical. Sect Master Wu doesn't have to be so polite. Jialanzi's temperament was also extremely easygoing. This time, there are many true immortals descending from the immortal world. This is no longer a secret. Then I will have an open and honest talk with everyone. Can also be considered as making friends. Making friends with immortals? Dongfang Qin couldn't believe his ears. Xiaohan, my friend, I already know a lot about your deeds. With your age, it's really not a trivial matter to reach your current cultivation level. In the mortal world, it's unique and no one can match you. Even in the immortal world, it will cause immortals to look at you. You obtained the first layer of Immortal Emperor Ju Dao's treasure, and the title of the strongest in the genius area is well deserved. Today I also found that there are traces of immortal qi in your body. It seems that you are already condensing immortal qi. Becoming an immortal is just around the corner, it's worth celebrating. Furthermore, when I heard about your battle with the demon race army, I couldn't help but gasp in amazement. Smashing several demon monarchs with one punch, this kind of method is almost an immortal's method. Powerful, powerful, admirable, admirable. Hang Jialanzi, my friend, you are really kind. Xiaohan also smiled in a friendly manner. Xiaohan also knew that it was because of his combat strength and valor that he won some respect from this immortal in front of him. In addition, Xiaohan's heart and Zhuobing Emperor's palm were also perfectly shielded. At least, this Jialanzi, in front of him, did not have any abnormalities. Fang Ling said, "We have always been worried that the people descending from the immortal world will be unruly and will not treat us mortals as humans. However, Sir Jialanzi, you are modest and polite. You are a sincere gentleman. There are good and evil people descending from the immortal world this time. I will tell you about these things." Jialanzi's face became slightly serious. "I am willing to listen to Brother Jialanzi's teachings." Xiaohan said humbly, "I dare not say that I will teach you. Friend Xiaohan is also a dragon among men. It is already a foregone conclusion that you will ascend and become an immortal one day. Friend Xiaohan and I can be considered to have hit it off at first sight. Then, let's just treat this as a casual chat between friends." Jialanzi's voice was extremely gentle and pleasant, making people feel as if they were bathing in a spring breeze. After a pause, Jialanzi said slowly, "What is an immortal? Now, allow me to speak on your behalf. There were many versions of records about immortals and the immortal world in the ordinary mortal plane. Most of them were unverified and could not stand up to scrutiny. Now, a true immortal was speaking about these things, causing Xiaohan and the others to hold their breaths and listen attentively. Mortals want to become immortals. There are two ways. The most important one is through the cultivation of true qi. Reaching the 10th level of true qi, breaking through the 101 true acupoints of the body and opening the heaven's eye. After opening the heaven's eye, one can find some immortal chi floating in the lower realm and use it to wash the body, causing one's body to be slightly contaminated with immortal chi. After that, through enlightenment, one can welcome the heavenly tribulation. Once the heavenly tribulation comes, one needs to use one's mind, soul, body, true chi and other means to resist it. Once one survives, one will be swept up by the heavenly tribulation and directly enter the immortal world. This is the so-called ascension. Of course, if one cannot withstand the heavenly tribulation, that is the end result of being reduced to ashes. After entering the immortal world, one can use true immortal chi and immortal pills to train their body and convert their true chi into immortal chi. That is when one becomes an official immortal. Convert true chi into immortal chi. Wu Li nodded, not fully understanding. Brother Jialanzi, the power of immortal chi is many times greater than true chi, right? Of course. Jialanzi nodded with certainty. Not only is the power of immortal chi many times greater than true chi, but the body of an immortal is also many times stronger than that of a mortal. After all, it is a true immortal body. Even if a mortal explodes with the strongest true chi attack, it will not be able to shake the immortal body and break its defense. Therefore, in theory, a mortal can never kill an immortal. Mortals use cauldron as a unit of measurement. Jialanzi said seriously. And in our immortal world, we use dragon to describe immortal chi. Dragon is a noble creature that lives in the immortal world. Its power is enough to topple mountains and overturn the seas. In our immortal world, we use dragon to describe how much immortal chi an immortal has. Jialanzi's gaze swept across Xiao Han and the others. Let me give you an example. In the mortal world, the power of 10 trillion cauldrons is equivalent to the power of one dragon in the immortal world. Do you understand what I'm saying? 10 trillion cauldrons is equivalent to the power of one dragon in the immortal world? Xiao Mingchu and Dongfang Qin exclaimed. My destiny talisman has about 20 trillion cauldrons of power, which is equivalent to 2 dragons of immortal strength. And my left biscuit emperor's palm has about 40 trillion cauldrons of power, which is 4 dragons of immortal strength. Xiao Han calculated silently. Jialanzi continued. In the immortal world, ordinary immortals are called true immortals. Above true immortals are the noble, immortal emperors. True immortals are divided into 10 levels. Level 1 true immortals have 1 to 10 dragons of immortal strength. Generally speaking, level 1 true immortals have no status in the immortal world. They are similar to the common people in the mortal world. Level 2 true immortals have 11 to 20 dragons of immortal strength. This is similar to a local tyrant. It is equivalent to a local tyrant in the mortal world. In many immortal world sects, the younger generation of immortals are almost all level 2 true immortals. Level 3 true immortals have 21 to 30 dragons of immortal strength. In the immortal world sects, they are considered senior disciples. Level 4 true immortals have 31 to 40 dragons of immortal strength. They are the backbone of the immortal world sections. Level 5 true immortals have 41 to 50 dragons of immortal strength. They can be used to refine some simple immortal weapons. Level 6 true immortals. 51 to 60 dragons of immortal strength. They are basically the top disciples of the immortal world sections. Level 7 true immortals. 61 to 70 dragons of immortal strength. They are the elders and sect masters of the immortal world sections. They also have some important positions in the immortal world. Level 8 true immortals have 71 to 80 dragons of immortal strength. Level 9 true immortals have 81 to 90 dragons of immortal strength. Level 10 true immortals have 91 to 100 dragons of immortal strength. Above level 10 true immortals are immortal emperors. As for the power of immortal emperors, it is not convenient for me to describe it. Of course, the immortal strength I am referring to is pure immortal strength. If you use some immortal arts, the immortal strength will also be enhanced. It is the same principle as the true chi cultivators in the mortal world who enhance their true chi divine arts to increase the power of their attacks. This is only the immortal strength of an immortal. Of course, an immortal does not only have immortal strength. The immortal body is also a very important part of it. The immortal body is more mystical than a mortal body. One cell is a world, one drop of blood is an ocean. For ordinary immortals, the level of immortal strength is directly proportional to the immortal body. A level 1 true immortal with a level 1 immortal body must have 1 to 10 dragons of immortal strength to shake a level 1 immortal body. A level 2 true immortal with a level 2 immortal body must have 11 to 20 dragons of immortal strength to shake a level 1 immortal body. And so on. Of course, there are some immortals who purely cultivate their bodies. The power of an immortal body is extraordinary. At this point, Jialanzi looked at Xiaohan with a faint smile. Friend Xiaohan, if I am not wrong, you should be tempering your immortal body. Your body contains lightning and earth, two immortal body characteristics. It is difficult for a mortal's true qi attack to break your defense. However, you only have a tiny embryonic form of these two immortal bodies. You have not been able to formally temper and forge them into real immortal bodies. However, in the mortal world, it is absolutely rare to be able to temper an embryonic form of an immortal body. The second way for mortals to become immortals is to condense an immortal body in the mortal world, and then forcibly penetrate the barrier between the mortal and immortal realms to enter the immortal world from the mortal world. However, this way of becoming an immortal is too heaven-defying. As far as I know, in the entire immortal world, all those who ascend from ordinary realms to become immortals rely on cultivating true qi, opening the heavenly eye and capturing immortal qi. This causes their bodies, hair, and skin to have a little bit of immortal characteristics. Then they rely on enlightenment to welcome the heavenly tribulation. Creating an immortal body purely with the physical body, going against the heavens to become an immortal. None. Absolutely none. This way of becoming an immortal only exists in legends. Because mortals cannot withstand such terrifying power. Even if one condenses a level 1 immortal body, it is equivalent to 1 to 10 dragons of immortal strength. This kind of power, directly added to the body of a mortal, would cause the body to explode. Moreover, a level 1 immortal body is not enough to forcibly penetrate the barrier between the mortal and immortal realms. I estimate that one would need at least a level 2 or 3 immortal body. In other words, to rely on tempering an immortal body and ascend to the immortal world, one's body needs at least 11 to 30 dragons of immortal strength, which is 110 trillion ding to 300 trillion ding of power. Xiaohan's scalp was also numb. The power of my body is only 5 trillion ding, which is less than 1 dragon of immortal strength. To be continued. Chapter 558. After listening to Jialanzi's explanation, Xiaohan finally had a better understanding of the difference between mortals and immortals. As for Wu Yu, Xiao Mingqiu and the rest, they were so shocked that their jaws dropped, unable to close. Indeed, the difference between mortals and immortals was like the difference between heaven and earth. The two could not be compared. Xiaohan, for example, cultivated his true energy in defiance of the heavens. He expanded his meridians 2,553 times and cleansed his natal talismans 117,000 times. Such a record was already the best in the Devata realms. In countless ordinary realms, there was no one who could surpass him. Because of this, Xiaohan's true energy power could almost instantly kill any pagoda lord of any plane in the universe. A natal talisman had a shocking power of 20 trillion cauldrons. 20 trillion cauldrons of true energy was the limit that mortals could achieve. It was the highest in history. However, 20 trillion cauldrons of true energy was only equivalent to 2 dragons of celestial strength. What did 2 dragons of celestial strength mean in the celestial world? It was a level 1 true immortal. Moreover, it was a cannon fodder among level 1 true immortals. In other words, mortals who stood at the top of the pyramid were the most ordinary peddlers in the celestial world. Any young disciple of a sect in the celestial world with the strength of a level 2 true immortal with 11 to 20 dragons of celestial strength could easily destroy anything in the mortal world. My previous thoughts were indeed naive. At this time, Xiaohan's mouth was filled with bitterness as he secretly complained in his heart. I thought that with the power of my true qi I would be able to defeat him. I thought that with my true energy and demonic strength. Until now, I could at least protect myself against ordinary immortals. But now, it seems that I was too naive. I'm not even a match for an ordinary level 1 true immortal. Xiaohan, my friend, there's no need to be upset. Jialanzi noticed that Xiaohan's mood had changed. He immediately comforted him. Xiaohan, my friend, you're already invincible among mortals. In the future, when you ascend to the celestial world and become an immortal, there will definitely be many sects in the celestial world that will recruit you and nurture you carefully. Your development in the celestial world will be smooth sailing. In a short period of time, you might even become a level 2 true immortal or even a level 3 true immortal. Xiaohan. There's no way to compare them. Wu Li also spoke up. Xiaohan cleared his mind of distracting thoughts. He thought to himself, that's right, I'm just a mortal, there's no need to compare myself to immortals. Furthermore, my mental power is likely even stronger than that of a level 1 or 2 true immortal. Furthermore, as long as I cultivate to the point where I can open the gate of the saber realm and receive the ancient saber soul into my body, I will still be able to slay immortals. Let's get back to business, Jialanzi continued. Tell me about the immortals who descended upon this plane. Brother Jialan, speak. Xiaohan's mental power concentrated once again. Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure is enough to cause an uproar even in our immortal world. Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao was ranked third in the immortal world. He was like a heavenly venerate. Moreover, his wealth was number one in the immortal world. In the immortal world, there was a saying that immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's wealth was equal to the sum of all the wealth in the immortal world. Although this statement is a little exaggerated, it's not far from it, Jialanzi said with a straight face. Ever since immortal Emperor Zhu Dao disappeared from the immortal world, all of his treasures disappeared along with him. In our immortal world, countless young immortals like me have dreams of finding immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure. That's because that treasure is enough for countless young immortals to fulfill their hot-blooded dreams, to become an immortal emperor. Countless sects in the immortal world also yearn for immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure to make their sects rise, to dominate the immortal world. When immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure appeared, the entire immortal world was in an uproar. It's completely boiling over. Countless sects and immortal emperors from all over the immortal world were all excited. However, when we found out that the first level of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure trove, the Genius Zone, was only open for mortals and immortals were not allowed to enter. At that time, countless immortals were so angry that they vomited blood. The entire immortal world was filled with wails and the cries of the cuckoos and blood apes could be heard. Countless immortals fainted. Fortunately, the second level of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure can be opened to us immortals. As long as we find a mortal hero in the Genius Zone and obtain an immortal key, we will be able to obtain a place to enter the treasure. This is a matter of life and death, causing the immortal world to rejoice. Countless immortals spread the news to celebrate. The importance that the immortal world places on the exploration in a few years is unimaginable. This time, a few supreme immortal emperors from the immortal world came up with a plan to control the overall situation and distribute the places to explore the second level of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure, Jialanzi said solemnly. Distribute? How does the immortal world distribute? Xiaohan was also very curious. First of all, immortals have to directly descend from the immortal world to an ordinary plane in the lower realm. Immortals with strong immortal power and immortal body cannot descend. Even the space crystal wall of an ordinary plane will collapse and explode once a powerful immortal descends. Therefore, according to the strength of an ordinary plane space crystal wall, the immortal world believes that only level 1 or 2 perfected immortals can descend. Level 1 or 2 perfected immortals' immortal power and immortal body will not cause the space crystal wall to collapse. Moreover, the immortal power of a level 2 perfected immortal cannot exceed 15 dragons. I understand. Xiaohan nodded solemnly. In other words, those who descend this time all have immortal power of 15 dragons or less. It is impossible to exceed 15 dragons. 15 dragons was the limit of immortals who descend. 15 dragons, in the mortal world, was equivalent to 150 trillion ding of power. Xiaohan also had an idea in his heart. Jialanzi continued to narrate. The immortal world's plan is to distribute all the places to the various immortal world sections. Then, the various immortal world sects will compete for the extremely precious places. There are countless immortal world sects participating in the competition. Every immortal world sect can obtain a place to descend. They are all the young disciples of the sect. After all, the backbone of the sect. The senior disciples have too much immortal power and can't descend. Only the young disciples can obtain this opportunity. Brother Jialanzi, does that mean you are also an outstanding talent of one of the immortal world sects? Xiaohan asked. And you can say that. In my sect, among the younger generation, my talent are the best in the world. Jialanzi nodded slightly. Brother Xiaohan, generally speaking, there are almost no level 1 perfected immortals among the sect's geniuses who descend. They are all eliminated during the selection process. Almost all of them are level 2 perfected immortals with immortal power of 11 to 15 dragons. Among them, according to the information I received, most of them have 11 to 13 dragon immortal force. Those with immortal power of 14 dragons descend. The number is relatively small. Those with immortal power of 15 dragons are even rarer. Oh, I see. Xiaohan said in his heart. I wonder how much dragon immortal power this brother Jialan has. Suddenly, A strange thought flashed through Xiaohan's mind. I don't know what level of true immortal the immortal I met outside the demon metropolis was. According to Brother Jialan, if the immortal power exceeds 15 dragons, he won't be able to descend. Could it be that the immortal who enlightened me was only a level 2 perfected immortal? Xiaohan suddenly asked. Right, Brother Jialanzi, could it be that those with more than 15 dragons such as level 3 perfected immortals, level 4 perfected immortals, or even immortal emperors cannot descend? Jialanzi was stunned by Xiaohan's unexpected question, but he still answered. Theoretically, yes. After all, the space crystal wall of the mortal world is too thin and fragile. Although level 1 perfected immortals and level 2 perfected immortals with less than 15 dragons can descend, if they go all out, they can still destroy the space crystal wall of the mortal world. But, if they have a very high realm, reaching the realm of immortal and human unity, they can truly return to their natural state. With the help of some heaven-defying immortal artifacts, they can travel between the mortal world and the immortal world. But there are not more than a few such immortals in the entire immortal world. And these immortal emperors will not be bored and waste their energy to travel to the mortal world to play. For example, a few years later, they will explore the second layer of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure. The immortal emperors who have the ability to descend have made a pact with each other that they will not descend personally. They are also interested in immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure, but they will not do it themselves. They will only send the young talents from the sects under their jurisdiction to compete fairly. Oh, I see. Xiaohan nodded slightly. Brother Xiaohan, Jialanzi's voice suddenly rose a little. Brother Jialanzi, feel free to speak your mind. Xiaohan knew that Jialanzi seemed to want to say something important, so he said politely. Then, Brother Xiaohan, I'll be straightforward. Jialanzi was a straightforward person. If the information I received is not wrong, then Brother Xiaohan has obtained 2 immortal keys in the Genius Zone. One is a blue immortal key, which can allow 70 people to enter the second level of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure. The other is a purple immortal key, which can allow 200 people to enter the expedition. The 2 keys add up to 270 spots. Excluding Brother Zhao's spot, there are 269 spots left. Oh, that is indeed the case. Xiaohan nodded. But this time, there are 300 level 2 perfected immortals teleporting to Brother Zhao's realm. Jialanzi looked at Xiaohan meaningfully. The current situation is that there are too many monks and not enough gruel. What's going on? Hearing this, Xiaohan was stunned and immediately frowned. There are more than 200 spots, but there are more than 300 immortals. How are we going to distribute them? Moreover, among these spots, I want to bring some ordinary people in this realm. Moreover, I have also promised some of my friends in other realms to give them spots. How are we going to distribute them now? Brother Xiaohan, this is the reason why I came this time. Jialanzi looked at Xiaohan with burning eyes. My sect conveyed to me that the distribution of the spots should be decided by Brother Xiaohan. To be continued. Chapter 559. What? Xiaohan will be in charge of allocating the quotas? Jialanzi's words were earth-shattering, shocking Wu Hongyi, Xiao Mingqiu and the rest. Ex-Guan. The quota for immortals to enter the second level of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure trove was actually decided by immortal? Could he handle it? Brother Jialan must be joking. Xiaohan couldn't help but laugh at himself. Little brother's words carry little weight. How could immortals be willing to listen to me? Brother Xiaohan, listen to me, Jialanzi said solemnly. The disciples of the immortal world sects that descended from the immortal world to this plane this time are a mix of good and bad. A mix of good and bad? Xiaohan was stunned. Brother Xiaohan, the sects in the immortal world are similar to the sects in the secular world. Some sects had a rather great reputation in the immortal dimension, and they upheld justice and received the love and respect of the people of the immortal dimension. On the other hand, some sects in the immortal dimension they had a terrible reputation. Some of their disciples committed crimes in the immortal world. Brother Xiaohan, perhaps you mortals will have some misunderstandings. They thought that the disciples of the various sects in the world of immortals should be upright, sage-like, and carefree and unfettered on cranes. In fact, that wasn't the case. Some of the sects in the world of immortals were actually quite despicable. They even exploited ordinary immortal citizens. In the celestial realm, sects, immortals, and even celestial emperors, there are good and evil. Xiaohan nodded slightly. Where there are people, there will naturally be Jianghu, and there will also be good and evil. In that case, some of the immortals descending to this plane are from sects with bad reputations in the world of immortals. Due to various reasons, they've been granted a spot to descend as well. These immortals usually reside in the world of immortals. Although he was behaving badly. But there were always rules and regulations governing immortals. Thus they won't be too out of line. But when they reach the secular world, without any restrictions, I'm afraid they will create a storm in the secular world. I've always been worried that such an impetuous immortal would descend and not treat us mortals as humans. Wuyu interrupted. It seems there really is such a black sheep of the immortal world. Yes, Jialanzi said solemnly. The immortal realm isn't as pure as I imagine it to be. There would also be intrigue and deceit. Indeed, a portion of the immortals would be taken away. It was not an exaggeration to call him a black sheep. These immortals would definitely run amok in the secular world. Their characters are extremely vile. If we don't control them, they will do evil things. Jialanzi continued. The majority of the immortal emperors above are still strictly against allowing these black sheep to descend in order to prevent them from wreaking havoc in the world. However, there were a few immortal emperors who turned a blind eye. It seemed like he had received some benefits, or perhaps it was out of consideration for his feelings. They actually allowed them to descend. Brother Xiaohan, there are more than 200 slots, but more than 300 immortals have descended to this plane. I have to say, some of the immortal emperors have failed in their duties. Then, before I left, a few benevolent immortal emperors specially instructed me through our sect master that I must control the situation. I cannot allow those black sheep to destroy the stability and prosperity of Brother Zhao's plane. I cannot watch as those fellows torment the mortals. Then, Jialanzi looked deeply at Xiaohan. The few big shots have specially instructed that the matter of the slots will be decided by Brother Xiao. Brother Xiao can refuse to give those black sheep who run amok a slot and make them scram out of this plane. As for me, I will assist Brother Xiao to maintain the situation. Oh? Brother Jialanzi, what do you mean? Xiaohan also came to a slight realization. At this moment, Jialanzi's eyes slightly opened. His eyes flashed with the strange phenomenon of the changing nebula. His eyes seemed to be able to swallow the plane and absorb the 8 desolates. Brother Xiao, don't hold back. The slots will be distributed by you. If there are immortals who are not satisfied, Brother Xiao, please rest assured that I will make them obedient. At this point, Jialanzi's aura became even sharper. The few big shots above and my sect master have instructed me to directly execute those immortals who misbehave when necessary. Life and death. Hearing this, Xiaohan, Wu Li, and the others looked at each other. Brother Jialanzi, the sect you belong to in the immortal world should be extremely powerful? Feng Ling could not help but ask when he heard Jialanzi's words and actions, which were domineering and dictating everything. In the immortal world, the sect I belong to is indeed flourishing. It is known as the strongest sect in the immortal world. It controls countless sects in the immortal world and is highly regarded by the immortal emperors above. Jialanzi nodded. So it is a big sect with the support of immortal emperors above. No wonder they would come down to enforce the law and eliminate the immortals sent down by other sections. Various thoughts came one after another in Xiaohan's mind. It sounds nice to say that he wants me to decide the slots to enter the second layer of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure, but in fact he is also using me. It is even possible that this Jialanzi wants to use this opportunity to eradicate dissidents. This person is definitely a powerful figure. The sect he belongs to must be extremely powerful in the immortal world. Jialanzi seemed to have already understood Xiaohan's thoughts. He smiled slightly. Brother Xiao, I'm not trying to use you. In fact, the allocation of the slots is still up to Brother Xiao. I am only assisting from the side. If Brother Xiao decides not to give me a slot, I will not make things difficult for Brother Xiao. I will just return to the immortal world. Ah. At this time Wu Yu spoke. Xiaohan, you cooperate with Brother Jialanzi. Ha! Xiaohan was stunned and looked at Wu Yu. Wu Yu pondered. As Brother Jialanzi said, among the immortals who descended to our plane this time, there will definitely be those who commit crimes, and there will definitely be those who are unruly. When they descend, they are no longer under control, and all the desires that have been suppressed in their hearts will be released without restraint. Perhaps in the eyes of these immortals, we mortals are no better than pigs and dogs. Xiaohan, as the master of this plane, you must step forward and stop them. You cannot let the common people be implicated and tormented. Immortals are indeed superior to us mortals, but well water does not interfere with river water. If they want to stir up trouble in our mortal world, we will not sit idly by and do nothing. However, Xiaohan, with your current battle strength, it is indeed difficult to contend with those immortals. Therefore you need to cooperate with Brother Jialanzi. Wu Yu's meaning was extremely obvious. To put it bluntly, Xiaohan and Jialanzi were just using each other. Because Xiaohan firmly controlled the quota to enter the second level of Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure, Jialanzi could use the excuse of assisting Xiaohan to righteously eradicate dissidents. Those immortals in the immortal world who had conflicts of interest with Jialanzi would all be expelled or even killed. As for Xiaohan, he would not be able to expel those lawless immortals who descended, so he had to rely on Jialanzi's strength. In this way, if they chose to cooperate, it would be of great benefit to both sides. Don't worry, Brother Xiaohan. I will hide by your side and you will act. If you think that the immortals should be expelled, expel them directly. If they know what's good for them, then it's fine. If they are cunning and treacherous or even resist Brother Xiaohan, then I will make a move and make them scram. Jialanzi looked at Xiaohan meaningfully. Moreover, Brother Xiaohan, this way you will benefit a lot. Xiaohan was stunned again. Before we left, the big shots above have given instructions. They also think highly of Brother Xiaohan's talent. The number one genius in the mortal world is indeed not to be underestimated. In the future, when you become an immortal, I'm afraid that the big shots will fight to recruit you. Therefore, any immortals who are expelled by you but refuse to accept it and want to attack you, I will eliminate them. All the immortal pills and immortal treasures they carry will all belong to Brother Xiaohan. Brother Xiaohan, do you understand what I mean? Is that so? Xiaohan's heart moved. Every immortal who descends will be bestowed with a few treasures by their sections. These treasures can even be called life-saving treasures. After all, the exploration of the second layer of Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure is a direct competition between the younger generation of immortals. At that time it will be extremely tragic. In order to increase their competitiveness, the immortal world sects will not hesitate to give their extremely precious treasures to the disciples who represent their sects to compete for Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure. In other words, every young immortal who descends to the mortal world will become extremely rich. Jialanzi looked at Xiaohan with a faint smile. If they break the law, then their treasures will belong to Brother Xiaohan. So, Brother Xiaohan, are you interested? Brother Xiaohan, don't worry, I will definitely not touch the treasures of these immortals. Moreover, the quality of the treasures of these young immortals will probably surpass the treasures piled up in the Genius Zone. Of course, they definitely cannot be compared to the many divine treasures in the second layer of Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure, but there is no doubt that they will surpass the Genius Zone. Is that so? Hearing this, Xiaohan's heart palpitated. Even the eyes of Wu Yu, Xiao Mingqiu and the others lit up. Finally, Xiaohan made a decision. Then it's decided. I will cooperate with Brother Jialanzi to decide the 269 places to enter the second layer of Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasure. Those tyrannical immortals will definitely not give them places, they will be expelled directly. If they resist stubbornly, then Brother Jialan will take action and exterminate them. Exactly. Jialanzi also smiled. This is also to protect the reputation of the immortal world. We cannot let the mortals misunderstand the character and virtue of us immortals because of some black sheep. After a pause, Jialanzi continued. Then, Brother Xiao will choose a day to accompany me to travel the 4 regions and the great wilderness of this plain, and take the initiative to search for immortals who descend. Brother Xiao will give those with good conduct a place, while those with despicable conduct will be expelled directly. All right. Let's start with the southern region. Xiaohan also smiled and nodded. Take the initiative to search for immortals who descend. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.